catastrophic across the area for some time to come. Certainly the worst has not passed, and in fact, even as we've been standing here for the past 20 minutes or so, the water level here has been rising. The water's come forward several metres just in the last few minutes.
Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
The 2024 Mitsubishi Triton comes with 10 years warranty, plus 3 years free servicing, only at Agostino Mitsubishi.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Lucy. Australian Oscar Piastri has claimed his second Formula One Grand Prix victory after the Azerbaijan Grand Prix ended in a chaotic crash. Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz Jr. ending up in the wall on the second-to-last lap. Piastri winning ahead of Charles Leclerc and George Russell. Aussie Daniel Ricciardo finished back in 13th. Well, Port Adelaide's players will get back to work today following Friday night's epic three-point win against Hawthorn. The Power now to come up against Sydney in a prelim on Friday night for a shot at the grand final. That'll be at the SCG in what will be Dane Rampy's 250th game with the Swans. In the AFLW, meantime, there were wins for the Crows, St Kilda and North Melbourne, who all had wins. The Giants and Suns match ended in a draw. Let's go to the English Premier League now, and Arsenal has beaten bitter rivals Tottenham 1-0 in the North London derby overnight. Newcastle has beaten Wolverhampton 2-1. And in some cricket to finish, England and Australia have shared the points after the third T20 international was abandoned without a ball being bowled. And that's the FIVEAA Sport.
Thank you, Tom. Now the FIVEAA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
Mostly sunny and expected top of 17 today. Mostly sunny 19 tomorrow. Sunny 22 on Wednesday. A shower or two for Thursday 17. Right now though it's a chilly 3.5. More news as it happens on FIVEAA.
Experience Christmas like never before at this year's Enchanted Christmas Party at Adelaide Convention Centre. You'll step into a world of wonder and festive magic as you celebrate the season with your colleagues. Wine and dine under twinkling lights with an all-inclusive three-course dinner and be dazzled by live entertainment, including Australian Idol songstress Paulini. Don't miss out on the magic of Adelaide's most exciting Christmas party, Enchanted Christmas, this December. Book now via the Adelaide Convention Centre website.
SA's own Respirico Healthcare has been supporting South Australians for 20 years. Our goal is to make a positive difference in people's lives. This month, we're proudly opening a new branch in Kilkenny. It will stock helpful devices for sleep, respiratory and assistive technology, with a focus on complex assistive technology needs. Ask about our education sessions and special offers at Shop 4, 10 to 14 Regency Road, Kilkenny. That's how you start making a positive difference. Respirico Healthcare, 6 stores across SA.
Everybody knows Right Price are the heating and cooling experts. So imagine how much you can save when they join forces with EcoVantage, the incentive experts. Together with Right Price, EcoVantage will help you source all the government incentives you're entitled to when it comes to heating and cooling your home, including energy-efficient heat pump hot water systems. Right Price and EcoVantage, the best of both worlds when it comes to heating, cooling and government incentives.
Are you looking to buy your first home but feeling overwhelmed? Where do you even begin? And how much can you borrow?
Well, chat to an Aussie broker because they'll understand your needs, work out what's possible and guide you every step of the way. Help from an Aussie broker is always free and 30 minutes could make all the difference.
Simply visit aussie.com.au to book a chat or find out more. Australian Credit Licence 246786.
Join Gliderol in celebrating the Colorbond Steal the Show promotion. By purchasing a roller door or sectional door made from Colorbond steel from Gliderol, now or within the last 12 months, you could win $100,000. Visit gliderol.com.au today for a free measure and quote. Retail customers only, T's and C's apply. See colorbond.com/steal the show, 18 plus only. Strict purchase and eligibility criteria apply. Ends 30/11/24.
Setting the agenda for South Australia.
This is FIVEAA, always Adelaide.
Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across MY24 range. Petrol and diesel vehicles, T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, FIVEAA Breakfast.
8 after 6, good morning to you. Hope you had a terrific weekend. Very cool start to the day. For the working week. Right now, 3.2 degrees outside in the city. I reckon this has the feeling of the kind of day where people are sending us their weather app for where they are and what the apparent temperature is because I reckon in the hills specifically, maybe out towards Clare, I think we might get some apparent temperatures in the zeros or even the minus this morning. So do let us know. Dutton's text line 044808 1395. Stay indoors and warm up though. Big morning ahead. We're going to be crossing to the US for the latest on a story you've just heard a bit about in 5AA News. That is this gun-related incident at Trump's golf course where he was playing golf in Florida. The detail is pretty scant at the moment, but there's going to be a press conference shortly from the Secret Service that'll illuminate some of that. We're going to chat with Jade Robin about the Emmys. Your favourite TV show might be up for a gong. We'll talk about that after 6:30 today. Stephen Rowe on what was a controversial weekend in footy. Frankly, two of the more remarkable finals games you're ever going to see. We'll talk about that with Rennie and then Roey a little bit later. Charles Mountain will be on the program talking phone camera fines. And also Simon Selly from the Anglevale Football Club on what was a really awful incident, albeit the young man involved now, we understand, is in a stable condition. But from what sounds like a particularly heated contest. David Penberthy, good morning to you.
Good morning, listeners. Good morning, Will. Yeah, it certainly was. It's going to be interesting hearing from Simon later in the program from the Anglevale Footy Club about that, because it sounds like there was, well, we haven't got it straight from the horse's mouth yet, but it sounds like there was a bit of feeling out there, bit of feeling in the football on Friday night as well. My God. I tell you what, folks, we need to put a new sign up at all the airports for international arrivals that reads, "Welcome to Australia, a nation of snowflakes."
Yep.
Lest anyone have this idea that, you know, the sort of Crocodile Dundee, going back even further than that, Chips Rafferty, nation of knockabouts, convicts, people who look Mother Nature in the eye, at a country that is largely devoid of fresh water, 95% desert, and we said, yeah, we can live there. Yeah, we're tough.
Yeah, but you don't live there, David, by disobeying the rules.
No, it's very important to obey the rules.
What a joke.
It's absolutely pathetic. And I'll tell you what, if the 1989 Grand Final happened today, the AFL would hold a month-long series of healing sessions and counselling. They'd get the people helped.
There'd be a royal commission.
Oh, there would be. The people who ran the restorative justice program in Rwanda, they'd ship them in from the UN, and it would be like this. So, Mark Yates and you, Dermot, you're going to have a face-to-face conversation about what happened just before the siren went. And then Yates would be like, well, Dermot, I've recognised that some of my past behaviours were inappropriate, and I'm now committing on a journey to be the best version of me I possibly can be, and I'd like to apologise, and I hope your kidneys stop bleeding, and I'm going to take ownership and be more accountable for my actions. It's just pathetic, isn't it?
I sort of had this. There's a few things that occurred to me. I went to the history of Australian sport on the weekend too. I started thinking, how did a country that used to celebrate Doug Walters, Dennis Lilly, and that era of sportsmen get to this? How do we get to the point where, so one bloke said to an ex-team...
Dennis Lilly tried to hit Jarvid Meandad with an aluminium bat.
How do we get here?
And it was excellent.
This whole Ginnivan Hinckley story is the lamest exchange of barbs I've almost ever heard, not in the sporting arena, on planet Earth. This wouldn't have offended 4-year-old kids in preschool. So Jack Ginnivan says to an ex-teammate on social media, "Oh, mate, I'll be seeing you in 14 days," when apparently, according to the sensibilities of people around the AFL, he should have said, "I'm looking forward to playing you, but of course we wouldn't overlook and disrespect a highly rated opponent that at first we'll have to apply ourselves 100% to overcoming."
Yeah.
Right? So that was apparently the first grave offence. And then Ken Hinckley says to him after the game, "You're not flying, mate." $20,000 fine.
Yeah.
And it occurred to me that there is a reason, and I think this is one of the weaknesses of our beloved code in Australia. One of the weaknesses of it is the sameness, predictability, and how boring the yearly discourse is. And because invariably it's, the match review panel. What are they up to?
Yeah.
The bump, is it dead? And then next week it's like, what are they doing with holding the ball? No other sport in the world does this, right? It's the lamest media cycle ever. And the reason is because anytime anyone shows a modicum of personality, they get fined, or they get They get bullied out of the game.
Most of the journos are in on it too.
It is...
You know, you watch like Fox Footy and that, and you get real time, oh, your questions are going to be asked about that. Oh, really?
Yeah,
Why?
Why?
And when the stories started coming out of Melbourne yesterday that, you know, Hinkley is expected to have his wallet a little lighter, I was reading it going, what?
Look, I think it's possible too. You can say Ken Hinkley, as a coach whose focus should have been on the team, let himself down in the team. If you're of that view, you can say that and still think the fine's dumb. You can still think that and think some sort of intervention from the AFL is mindless and stupid. Like, this wasn't Cosmina Muscat.
No, he
now,
wasn't smashing chairs.
That was the high watermark of player-coach interactions, where Kevin Muscat in the Adelaide United-Melbourne victory game hip and shouldered John Cosmina, was managing Adelaide United at the time, so then John got up and started choking him. Like, that one probably required a little bit of intervention.
In hindsight, I suppose.
But I just can't believe this is a thing, after two of the best finals you're ever going to see.
The other thing too, it's a Victorian conspiracy, as things almost always are in the VFL/AFL. Can you imagine them doing this to Damien Hardwick?
Well, they did. This is the thing. So this is the same sanction, this $20,000 fine, that Alistair Clarkson got.
What was that for, though?
Well, he said something pretty unsavoury to a player on the sideline.
Oh, that was the F word.
Well, yes.
We think.
Yes.
The F word for not... The F word that's
it was
an appalling thing to call gay people. How is that the same?
Well, that's the AFL.
Doing a flying gesture.
And it had been at the end. Like, if this was the fourth time, say, Ken had gotten into an altercation post-match. So, well, listen, mate, we need to rein it in. First ever offence in 12 years of coaching.
Yeah.
Versus Clarkson's was at the end of a line of misdemeanours. So, I mean...
Yeah, but they've largely been overlooked, though.
Yeah.
I
just don't know. It's
the final thing I'd say about it, too. Hawthorn, easily the most fraudulent and hypocritical football club. This list of former greats. On the aforementioned Dermot Brereton's come out and said this isn't on. Oh. Lee Matthews. I mean, Lee Matthews ended a bloke's career. You know, at least Lee Matthews had the honesty to admit that he fired up once at an opposition player when he was coaching the Lions. But all of these sooky lalas from the Hawks, just suck it up, princesses. You're lost.
We're getting lots of Dutton's texts coming through. John's called in as well from Glenside. Morning to you, John.
Oh, good morning. It's just occurred to me that Ginnivan's comment, it was assumed that he meant he was coming up to play the Swans. It could have also meant, if we lose, I'll come up and watch you play Port Adelaide.
Oh, that's right. It's his old teammate. Maybe that's what he was getting at.
Yeah.
This whole thing was over nothing.
It's overplayed, and I mean, Ken's behaviour was weird, childish, but $20,000 fine?
Yeah, that's sort of where I sit. The one out for Ken is, I would say, I reckon when James Sicily's lining up for goal with 60 seconds left, Ken Hinkley in that moment emotionally is, this might be my last 60 seconds coaching in the AFL.
Yeah.
Well, the emotion is, it doesn't get much higher than that.
Saved by a piece of timber.
The width of the post.
That's right.
Let's do some Dutton's text, 0480 1395. Dutton's car dealerships in the Adelaide Hills and Murray Bridge, and easy to do business with.
Dave from Alberton says, now, given the opportunity, who wouldn't want to give Jack Ginnivan some open and honest feedback? Thank you for that. One here from Helen. Roey Hinkley's fine. If anything, the umpires should be fined and stood down. It was a disgrace. We actually won that game by 3 goals. Andrew says the AFL are woker than the current Labor government. Kevin Manham says, I'm sure my children were never traumatised by seeing me with arms out mimicking an aeroplane flying. The AFL needs to take a chill pill and laugh a little. And further to your point at the start of the show, Will, about the cold, currently 1.5 degrees in Lobethal. People sending through screenshots of their bomb apps. 3.5 in Birdwood. Rug up, people. It's going to be cold for a while.
1.4 in Salisbury Park with an apparent temperature of -2.
Yikes.
Fairview Park, 1.4, apparent temperature -2. It is a seriously cold morning out there. 18 after 6, we're going to take a break with some news headlines for you coming up in a moment.
Every day, a passionate team works hard to maintain one of the world's most immaculate playing surfaces, Adelaide Oval. And now they're available to you. If you're in charge of an oval, sporting field or community space, you can trust the renowned Adelaide Oval grounds team. Adelaide Oval Turf Solutions brings its expertise to any green space, and they'll work to your budget. From turf curation and construction to maintenance and repair, we'll give you the base for you to build on. Search Adelaide Oval Turf Solutions today.
If the bank's declined your business loan, no worries. Universal Finance make business loans easy. No financials required. Unsecured business loans and business overdrafts. Universal Finance can help your business now. For lightning fast settlement, sometimes in just a matter of hours. See Universal Finance in Kent Town today. Or search Universal Finance right now. This is general advice only, and you should consider the terms and conditions before determining whether this advice is suitable for your situation.
The Toolkit Depot Parafield Plumbing Day is happening this Thursday. Your chance to check out the latest plumbing tools and accessories from all the top trade plumbing brands,
including brands like Milwaukee, Rigid, Plumboss, Husqvarna, Irwin and many more.
On the day, Toolkit Depot Parafield will have exclusive plumbing deals along with hands-on product demos, giveaways, and they're firing up the barbie for a free feed while you're there.
Sounds like the perfect plumber's day out. Don't miss it. The Toolkit Depot Plumbing Day, all day long this coming Thursday. Only at Toolkit Depot Parafield, corner of Main North Road and Kesters Road, Parafield.
Right Price, Adelaide's best in heating and cooling, has risen to new heights. Literally, Right Price are now your roofing people too. Same exceptional service, value and quality. From total roof replacement, including tiled roof installation, to tile roof repairs, cleaning and painting. And for peace of mind, a rock-solid quote. So the only surprise you'll get is how magnificent your roof and home looks. Do it right. Visit rightpriceroofing.com.au.
You can get your roof right at Right Price.
Salvo's Home Care South Australia provides holistic, personalised care to help older Australians live independently in their own homes. They can help with domestic assistance, nursing and personal care, transport and shopping assistance, social support and more. No entry fee, no exit fee, no basic daily care fee, just genuine care. Call 1300 111 227 to learn how Salvo's Home Care can assist you or your loved ones today.
Introducing the all-new Volvo electric excavator. It's quiet and has no emissions or exhaust, so it's perfect for confined spaces. The battery has 48 volts and it's got zero tail swing radius, whatever that means. 2.7 tonnes of brilliant bright yellow, but it's green environmentally, but it's yellow, quite literally. Inquire today through Warren Mining for all your electric excavation needs, but also all your construction equipment needs, because Warren Mining do it all.
FIVEAA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to FIVEAA on Facebook or YouTube. Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across MY24 range, petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
22 minutes after 6. To say it's cold is an understatement in parts of Adelaide this morning. Annette just sent us through a picture of her weather app. Wallaroo this morning, 1.9. The apparent temperature, -3.2. Stay warm there in Wallaroo.
It's the lack of cloud cover, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Because the days have been good. Oh, Saturday wasn't much chop, but yesterday was good.
We may have somewhat buried the lead in all the conversation about the the slow death of personality and characters in Australian sport, because Port Adelaide is still in the finals, which means our grand final ticket competition that starts today, by the way, has tens of thousands more people than otherwise who might really like to go to a grand final that will be calling in over the course of today or tomorrow or however many days it ultimately lasts between
to
now
make
and
the grand final too. Port need to beat a side that, now I'm not sure if this is right. I'm pretty sure I read it yesterday. Sydney haven't beaten Port for 8 years.
Is that right? I know it's four of the last 5 times.
Is that right?
Tom Wren will have the stat for us very shortly when we.
They have a very good record against them.
Yeah, it's their bunny.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that, and we'll tell you how you can win tickets to the AFL Grand Final. Tickets, flights, accommodation, the whole shebang. A little bit later. This is going to be fun, this competition, because it's going to require a bit of a knowledge of footy in South Australia, shall we say. Grassroots.
From a Crows perspective, it's all looking a bit scarily plausible now, isn't it?
Very plausible.
Although on the upside, they will play Geelong. They played them once
Well,
before in
maybe.
a grand final.
Maybe. Brisbane will be up and about after that.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Let's talk about the biggest story out of America this morning, and it is developing as we speak. Gunshots were fired in the vicinity of Donald Trump. Now, that sounds like a curious turn of phrase, but it's a byproduct of the reporting coming out of the US. That's what Secret Service sources are saying. He was playing a round of golf at the Trump National Golf Club in Florida. The latest is Sky News UK reporting they have credible intel that it was, in fact, an assassination attempt on Donald Trump.
So this bloke had an AK-47 roaming around the golf course.
Roaming around the golf course, apparently looking for Donald Trump, who is okay. The language out of the Secret Service who tweeted, they said it was a protective incident. A protective incident. Again, it's curious language. We will learn more very shortly. They're going to be conducting a press conference in the next half hour, and we'll get some more details on that. But it will be the second such attempt on Donald Trump's life in just a couple of months.
So Trump's it's an email to his supporters. There were gunshots in my vicinity, but before rumours start spiralling out of control, I wanted you to hear this first, and then in all caps, I am safe and well. Nothing will slow me down. I will never surrender. I will always love you for supporting me. Unity, peace, make America great again.
All right, well, we'll get some more information on that developing story over the course of the morning. Back in Australia, Northern Territory Police have started investigating yesterday's Alice Springs train crash with a cattle truck. The Garn, getting dry throat, collided with the truck just before 10 a.m, 50 k's north of the Red Centre, caused significant damage. The driver of the truck was treated by paramedics at the scene and taken to the hospital with shock. After passengers were stuck for more than 5 hours for the clean-up, the train was then expected to arrive in Adelaide late last night. The GAN, after the Afghan.
The GAN.
Yeah, the Afghanistan.
It's one of those pronunciations you always sort of have to check yourself, don't you?
Yeah, but it is Afghan.
Yeah, Afghan.
Is
the
origins of it, isn't it?
Not the GAN.
No, which is how we
instinctively
round the A
it.
in Adelaide.
Yeah, that's right.
Just days after billionaire Elon Musk labelled the Australian government as fascists, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese's hit back, telling the owner of X it's a bad look on himself, criticising Labor's attempt to tackle misinformation on social media.
Well, social media has a social responsibility. If Mr. Musk doesn't understand that says more about him than it does about my government.
The proposed laws could see social media platforms fined up to 5% of their annual turnover for spreading lies online. Dementia advocates say Australians living with the condition are being socially isolated by others due to a lack of understanding. Efforts are underway to reduce the stigma and discrimination being faced by those diagnosed this Dementia Action Week. Dementia Australia Learning Director David Sykes is challenging state and federal governments to make communities more inclusive.
We're really encouraging the community, governments at all levels, businesses, community groups, to really look at how they can be more inclusive of and friendly towards people living with dementia.
We're going to need to build a new acronym. Canada is exploring the opportunity to join a new component of the AUKUS security alliance.
AUKUS?
Caucus?
Yeah.
Caucus is already something else, isn't
Caucus.
it? The move is being driven by increasing tensions with China in the Indo-Pacific region and a growing international focus to strengthen military partnerships in that part of the world.
It could be AUKUS, eh? Because the Canadians are famous for putting A.
AUKUS.
They put A on the end of everything.
Top of 17 today, but it's going to take some getting there because right now it's still 3.3 degrees outside at the moment, but much cooler in various places across Adelaide. Tomorrow 19 and an overnight low of 3, so another cool morning coming. It'll warm up a bit for Wednesday, 22 and 8, and then some showers in the latter part of the week. Thursday 17, Friday 17 and up to 7 mils of rain. Saturday just 17 and up to 5 mils of rain. And Sunday 19, we might get 3, but it'll be spread around those 4 days. Some a little bit of drizzle to round out the week. Tom Wren's in the 5AA Breakfast Studio with his winners and losers on this Monday morning. Thanks to the excellent people at Agostino Mitsubishi. The 2024 Mitsubishi Triton comes with 10 years warranty plus 3 years free servicing. Morning to you, Rennie.
Morning to you, Will and David. Port has won 8 in a row against Sydney.
8.
So it goes back to 2016. Importantly, 3 of those have been at the SCG. So they have won a few at the ground they're going to be playing at on Friday night. So it bodes well, but we know it's a huge final, going to be a tough game. But we'll start with our winners and losers. Look, Port Adelaide, I heard you speaking at length about the incident, and it's received a lot of attention. But the game itself and the result,
unbelievable.
and you hit the nail on the head, Will. I mean, that kick goes a yard to the right, Ken Hinckley's career's over.
Mm.
That's sport, isn't it? It's just so fickle, isn't it?
What was your and you called the game, Rennie. I know you guys did a wonderful job. I heard a bit of it on my way home on Friday night. My feeling in that game was that didn't feel like that wasn't Port at its absolute best.
No.
Like that wasn't Port Adelaide as we've seen them dismantle Essendon at Adelaide Oval.
Yeah.
No, quality
Sydney.
But that was Port Adelaide with every player fighting as though it was his career on the line.
Yeah.
Mm. And it was fascinating to watch.
It's a great call, and that's what it was. It was. I think Port Adelaide fans would say it was a classic Port Adelaide result, just willing themselves across the line in a game that wasn't pretty. It wasn't great at times, but they found a way. They're undermanned, missing a few players, but if they're going to win the flag, they're 2 games away. They've got to bring that same pressure and intensity, otherwise they won't get close. And that's
some of their
that's what
tackling
it's
in that
gonna
last
take.
quarter. There was one tackle right at the end. I don't know who did it. One of their defenders, obviously, but it was. I just watched that one. God, that is such desperation.
And Zach Butters, who's clearly hurt, he put on 2 or 3 tackles where you went, oh my God, what is he?
He did it early too.
Yeah, he did it really. I mean, you just had to admire it, didn't you? It was an amazing game. And then we had Saturday night's game where Brisbane, Joe Danaher, they're the winners. The big losers for the weekend and for the final series, the GWS, of the 269 minutes they played, they led for 250 in the finals, and they lost both games. That was a total...
brutal
botch job. They're so close. They should be in a prelim. They could win the flag, but they're gone.
It's all mental. Like
it is, isn't it?
There was a stat I heard the week before in the game against who beat them in the week one? Sydney. Yeah, they had not lost out of the last 23 games where they've been leading at 3/4 time. They hadn't lost.
Yep.
Yes, it's not a long-term pattern of behaviour.
No, it's not. And then
so now they've lost 2 in a row.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Other winners, Glenelg will give them a big tick. I mean, that's 3 in a row now for the finals, which is huge. So they play against Nord in the grand final. Oscar Piastri, massive result for him.
Fantastic.
Overnight, second Grand Prix win. I heard the commentary that they think he's the next star. He's arrived.
He's early 20s, isn't he?
23.
Yeah, he's a kid.
Yeah, he's a kid. Will Brown in the V8s, a great result from him. He won at Sandown in the Endurance. Don't like umpire bashing too much, but called that game, as you said, Will, that second quarter, a couple of the free kicks to Chol and to Dylan Moore, that was as baffling as umpiring. And Treaders, who is usually so reserved and, I think even, which is great with it, even he was just in total shock and disbelief. It was mind-boggling, some of those umpiring decisions.
Yeah,
in that both ways, it was very inconsistent.
Good on you, Rennie.
Thanks,
On
boys.
you, Tom.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny, 17 today with the 6:30 news. I'm Lucy Loken.
Chipped windscreen? RAA approved repairer Complete Windscreens repairs it from just $99. Find the big red koala.
US authorities are now investigating gunshots heard near the golf course of Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump. Trump's campaign says the former president is safe. Former White House Director of Events Laura Schwartz has told the Today Show it's being described as a protective incident and remains unclear whether Trump was in fact the target.
Also don't know if the Secret Service had spotted the gunman with the AK-47 style rifle before that gunman shot. So there were shots exchanged, but we don't know from which gun, and obviously the exact location. Right now, that golf course is locked down. It is a crime scene.
The US Secret Service now giving an update. A tech billionaire has returned to Earth after becoming the first non-astronaut to walk in space. Jared Isaacman touched down in a SpaceX capsule with his crew just 5 days after making the milestone journey. The 10th Annual International Cleanup Conference is entering its second day here in Adelaide. It involves 700 scientists, engineers and policymakers from around the globe. Dangerous chemicals found in some of Australia's waterways will be among the issues to be discussed. Conference Managing Director Professor Raven Ado says collaboration plays a vital role in tackling environmental issues.
The work that is being done in different countries from policy perspective, assessment, monitoring and remediation perspective can be quite different. Some are more advanced than others. And so when you bring these people from different countries together, it really helps us advance.
Calls are mounting for the federal government to do more to protect Australians from gambling harm. The Alliance for Gambling Reform is urging policymakers not to abandon the key recommendations of the Murphy Review on gambling advertising. Chief Executive Martin Thomas says latest figures on losses need to be addressed.
Now shows that $32 billion is lost every year by Australians, and we know that gambling causes social harm in Australia on an industrial level, so these figures are tragic and will have a terrible impact.
Couples are increasingly opting to elope or throw smaller parties rather than host big weddings. Cost of living pressures are putting pressure on nuptial budgets. A survey suggests as many as 79% of couples have had to adjust their wedding budgets as a result of current financial strain. And 3 people have been killed after 2 trains collided in Egypt. Up to 40 other passengers were injured. The government had announced initiatives to improve its railways. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
The 2024 Mitsubishi Triton comes with 10 years warranty, plus 3 years free servicing, only at Agostino Mitsubishi.
Big good morning to Tom Wren.
And to you as well, Lucy. We're going to start with a little bit of football. Port Adelaide's players will be back at Alberton this morning as they look ahead to Friday night's preliminary final against Sydney at the SCG. Forward Todd Marshall was subbed out of the game, but it's hoped he will be available to tackle the Swans, while Charlie Dixon is also expected to be fit after he was a late withdrawal last weekend against Hawthorn, and that was because of illness. Let's go to motorsport. An elated Oscar Piastri has claimed his second Formula 1 Grand Prix result in Azerbaijan.
Lovely job, Oscar. Great afternoon. Fantastic. Probably the most stressful afternoon of my life, so well done. That was a big move. So thank you very much for the car. What a day that was. Thanks everyone. Thank you, thank you.
Audio thanks to Fox. Doesn't sound too stressed, does he? Probably is why he's so good at what he does. He finished ahead of Charles Leclerc and George Russell. Will Brown, meantime, has claimed his first endurance crown, teaming up with Scott Pye to lead home a 888-1-2 in the 500-kilometre race. 888 has now won the past 4 Sandown 500s. Let's go to soccer rather. Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham has suffered another loss, this time in the North London derby after going down 1-0 to Arsenal. The goal coming just after the hour mark from a corner.
Nice flow to that, and Gabriel scores for Arsenal! He got 4 goals in the Premier League last season. They were all headers. And once again, it's a firm forehead of the Brazilian.
Yeah, great stuff. Audio thanks to Optus. There was one other game overnight with Newcastle 2-1 winners against Wolverhampton. And Lucy, that is the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Tommy. Now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
Mostly sunny, top of 17 today. Mostly sunny tomorrow, 19. Sunny on Wednesday, 22, before a shower on Thursday, 17. Right now, though, it's a chilly 3.6. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across MY24 range. Petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
24 to 7, lots of thoughts coming through on the Duttons text line and indeed the open line 8223 0000 on the Ken Hinkley sanction, $20,000. We're going to talk more about that in a moment. Dutton's car dealerships in the Adelaide Hills and Murray Bridge. Dutton's easy to do business with. Now, a press conference is just being held in the United States with members of the local police, the Secret Service and FBI talking about what we now know was another assassination attempt against former US President Donald Trump, this time at his at Trump International Golf Course. Rick Bradshaw is the Palm Beach County Sheriff. He's literally speaking right now. Here's a bit of what he's had to say.
1:30 this afternoon, call came out, shots fired. That was called in by the Secret Service. Because we're in constant contact with them all the time, we were notified of that, and we had units here that immediately sealed off the area. Fortunately, we were able to locate a witness that came to us and said, hey, I saw the guy running out of the bushes. He jumped into a black Nissan, and I took a picture of the vehicle and the tag, which was great. So we had that information. Our real-time crime center put it out to the license plate readers, and we were able to get a hit on that vehicle on I-95 as it was headed into Martin County. We got a hold of Martin County Sheriff's Office, alerted them, and they spotted the vehicle and pulled it over and detained the guy. After that, we took the the witness that witnessed the incident, flew him up there, and he identified as the person that he saw running out of the bushes and jumped into the car. Now, in the bushes where this guy was is an AK-47 style rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks which were hung on the fence that had ceramic tile in them, and a GoPro, which he was going to take pictures of. So those are being processed right now. The Secret Service agent that was on the course did a fantastic job. What they do is they have an agent that jumps one hole ahead of time to where the president was at. And he was able to spot this rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and immediately engage that individual, at which time the individual took off.
Who they then subsequently caught up with in that black Nissan that he described a moment ago. So it does sound like a legitimate assassination attempt.
While I was listening to that, I just did a bit of a quick list off Google. So Lincoln, Garfield, McKinley, Kennedy, all of them assassinated in 1865, 1881, 1901, 1963. You should mention honourably Robert Kennedy, also assassinated. Then Reagan was almost assassinated. Teddy Roosevelt was almost assassinated. He was almost assassinated in July, and now a second attempt, albeit not as close as the last one. Gerald Ford was almost assassinated. Well, he was attacked twice by a female assailant. Do you think it's going to occur to this country at some point that there appears to be a bit of a gun issue there? It's pretty crazy, isn't it?
It would be interesting to do a comparative study. What profile of country is the US most similar to when you consider its history of assassination attempts?
I reckon it would be somewhere in Africa.
Yeah, that's right. This doesn't happen in much of the Western world.
Well, the Swedish Prime Minister Olof Palme, was it Olof Palme? He was assassinated, and it was a huge story in Western Europe because it's just unheard of.
Yep. There was in Japan, obviously, recently, an incident, but yeah, they're rare. But this is not rare. This is once a generation. It seems to happen.
No British Prime Minister's ever been assassinated.
Not that I can think of. But Trump twice now.
France. I cannot think of any in Western Europe. It's extraordinary, isn't it?
I'm just looking at details coming through.
The problem is, I reckon the number of crackpots over there that have got access to high-powered weapons, there would be a certain screwed-up sort of weirdo out there who thinks, geez, I want to be the guy. I want to be the one who does it. Because they almost got him in July in Pennsylvania, so maybe I can be the person who does it. Why on earth would you go into public life in the US? Crazy.
Andrew's called in. Morning to you, Andrew.
G'day, how are you?
Good, mate.
Will, David, good to speak to you again.
You too, mate.
Listen, there's been one well-known attempt, David, which might be just before you were born, Arthur Augustus Caldwell, but I can remember it as a very, very young lad.
Oh, yeah,
There's a picture of the wounds to his face.
That's right. That's right.
But I reckon, and I can't remember, so I stand corrected if somebody's a bit older than me, I reckon it was to do with the Vietnam War, because he was very strongly against the Vietnam War. He used to lead the moratorium.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it now, 1965, and it was at the Mosman Town Hall in Sydney. Yeah, 1966. He was speaking at an anti-conscription rally. You're right, Andrew. It was about the war in Vietnam. Great call. Thanks, mate.
We will continue to follow that story because as we speak, literally that press conference is ongoing. We'll have more detail for you after 7 o'clock this morning. So I'm just looking now. According to the BBC's rolling coverage, officials at the news conference now said the president was 1 or 2 holes behind the shooter's location when the incident took place, about several hundred yards. Anyone who plays golf will sort of understand the distances. Secret Service engaged the suspect. He wasn't hit by their gunfire, according to the sheriff, who we've just heard from, Rick Bradshaw. It remains unclear whether he also shot at Secret Service personnel who were present on the golf course. So there was an exchange of fire. in this incident as well.
Spencer Perceval is the only British Prime Minister ever to have been assassinated on May 11th, 1812. That's going back a while, isn't it? What did they get him with?
212 years ago.
A blunderbuss or something like that.
Yeah, must have been. Frank and Jocelyn's called in. Morning to you, Frank.
Oh, good morning. This is a sporting golf sledge story. Relates to the Hinckley thing in that I've been a member of a golf club for over 40 years, and 35 years ago I met this guy and played with him, and his nickname was Sledge. And he was a big Irishman, and I quickly learned that if you're going to give it out, you've got to be prepared to take it.
Yep.
And our group at the golf club is in fact known as the Sledge Group. This man played with us for years, and then he died, and we play annually now for the Sledge Trophy. But I remember well his first sledge, and I wished I could do it and give his Irish brogue a bit of justice, but I'll do my best. We were he and I were partners, and I'd only just met this guy, and didn't really know why he was called the Sledge. And then we were playing two other guys, paying probably the great sum of $2 or something, and he had a long putt, and they had a couple of short putts to win the hole. And anyway, he's dropped this long putt, and then he said in his Irish brogue, "Oi, I didn't think we was going to win the hole." And the other two guys went to water and missed their putts. Anyway, you've got. I can't believe the hullabaloo over this.
No, I don't think anyone can.
I know. This is
ridiculous.
We're almost at the point that sledging has been declared un-Australian, which is a bit sad sort of day, wouldn't it? Thank you, Frank, and long live Sledge.
How did it happen so fast? You know, Steve Waugh was captain of Australia only, not even a generation ago.
That was our whole makeup.
He used to call it mental disintegration.
Yeah. Not now.
No.
Should we do a couple of Dutton's texts?
Yes. Let's see. Okay, a lot of partisan stuff about Donald Trump. You can predict what that's going to be saying. Someone here talking about the misinformation laws that Musk has labelled Albo a fascist over, which is a completely absurd thing to say, but the laws themselves are worth a closer look. As this listener suggests, the problem with these proposed misinformation laws, who's going to be the holy arbiter of truth? The government? I think anyone with a modicum of sense would have a concern or two around that. And a few people are pointing out that while they agree with our assessment of the Hinckley fine as being garbage, they're also questioning the maturity of his behaviour, and also whether perhaps it would have made more sense for him to be focusing on celebrating a great win with his own players as opposed to running around getting under the grill of opposition players.
Well, I think that would have been a natural kind of round the bar with your mates chat that you'd have after that incident. Like, you didn't need the AFL to step in and levy a fine. Some people would have said, "Nah, the bloke almost lost his job, giving some slack."
Yeah, totally.
Other people would have said, "What a child! You're arguing with a 22-year-old kid, right?" Like, we are capable of having that conversation as a football-loving public.
Yeah,
we didn't need Daddy to step in and say, "No, this is not acceptable."
Go to your room for 20 minutes
for 20 grand.
For 20 grand. Pathetic.
Let's check traffic. The Monopoly game is back at Macca's. Download the My Macca's app to peel, scan and play. It ends October 22.
Thanks, Will, and morning, David. Fresh old morning weather-wise, but really good on the roads today. No great hassles getting to work, which is great. We'll find some activity at Round Park to look out for. Torrens Road near South Road. Also at Prospect this morning, Main North Road near Penn Place. Look out for those works at Payneham. They always get slow in the morning. Portrush Road near Rosella Street. Got speeds at 40 there. Cameras, Baldock Road, Engle Farm, and Adelphi Terrace at Glenorg North. Ready to set sail on your next holiday? Flight Centre's cruise sailors docked with savings of up to $7,000. Fly free offers, onboard credits and more. Book now at Flight Centre. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Everybody knows Right Price are the heating and cooling experts. So imagine how much you can save when they join forces with EcoVantage, the incentive experts. Together with Right Price, EcoVantage will help you source all the government incentives you're entitled to when it comes to heating and cooling your home, including energy-efficient heat pump hot water systems. Right Price and EcoVantage, the best of both worlds when it comes to heating, cooling and government incentives.
Join Gliderol in celebrating the Colorbond Steal the Show promotion. By purchasing a roller door or sectional door made from Colorbond steel from Gliderol, now or within the last 12 months, you could win $100,000. Visit gliderol.com.au today for a free measure and quote. Retail customers only, T's and C's apply. See colorbond.com/steal the show, 18 plus only. Strict purchase and eligibility criteria apply. Ends 30/11/24.
Now, don't let the name fool you. Adelaide Direct stationers might be all Adelaide and very direct, but they're much more than just stationery.
They're a South Australian owned and operated family business serving our largest businesses for over 25 years.
And right now, this iconic SA business is giving your business a chance to win $5,000 in office supplies. That's a lot of post-it notes.
I'm sure you could spend it on probably more than post-it notes too. Adelaide Direct Stationers is SA's largest suppliers of tech products, washroom products, PPE, workplace health and safety equipment, office furniture, food, snacks, beverages and much more.
Whatever you need, they've got it. Plus, they offer a same-day 2-hour express delivery.
So don't wait for your chance to win $5,000 in office supplies. Register at adelaidedirectstationers.com.au. T's and C's apply.
SA's own Respirico Healthcare has been supporting South Australians for 20 years. Our goal is to make a positive difference in people's lives. This month, we're proudly opening a new branch in Kilkenny. It will stock helpful devices for sleep, respiratory and assistive technology, with a focus on complex assistive technology needs. Ask about our education sessions and special offers at Shop 4, 10 to 14 Regency Road, Kilkenny. That's how you start making a positive difference. Respirico Healthcare, 6 stores across SA.
Did you know you can kickstart your adventure even sooner in an Austrac camper with Austrac Finance? Call 1800 797 797 and get your free quote today.
Austrac Campers! Ever had the feeling you're being watched online? Scammers are always looking for new ways to con you. They're criminals and they're clever. But Australian banks have joined forces in the war against them. Intelligence sharing between banks will identify new types of scams faster. A new payment system to ensure you pay the right person is being rolled out. Unique identity checks will defend against identity theft. And there'll be more double checks when you're paying someone new. Australian banks are working to protect you.
Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across MY24 range, petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
Right on 9 minutes to 7. Let's head to the Weather Bureau. Jenny Horvat is on the line as the sun is up. Jenny, is it bringing with it any warmth? Because it's been a cool start.
No, it's a bit chilly out there. 3.5 degrees at the West Terrace Nidapura observation site. We did see our minimum temperature of about 20 past 5 of 2.8 degrees. A little bit colder up around the hills there, and the RAF base around 2 degrees for a minimum, and the Parafield was about 1 degree for minimum. So a bit of a chilly start out there. And again, tomorrow morning we will be expecting a bit of a chilly start. We've got this high pressure system sitting south of the Bight at the moment, but it is going to move across the eastern districts tomorrow. So still maintaining those light winds and clear skies. But mostly sunny day today. Pretty clear in the city. A little bit of cloud around the hills. We are aiming for a top temperature of 17 degrees for the city, 18 for Elizabeth, 17 for Glenelg and Noarlunga, Mount Barker 14 degrees. Similar again tomorrow, a little bit of sunshine around, maybe getting up to around 19 degrees for maximum after that minimum temperature of below sort of 3 degrees through there. Bit warmer Wednesday morning. We've got those northerlies picking up ahead of a change due late, probably on a Thursday now. Minimum of 8 on Wednesday, 22 and sunny on Wednesday. Thursday, shower or two with the passage of a front, 17 degrees. Once that one moves through, we're going to be in a broad westerly, so hit and miss showers to see us through the end of the week and into the weekend with a couple of other fronts just to keep those showers going, but those totals aren't looking overly high at this stage, guys.
Good stuff, Jenny. Thanks for that. Stay warm. Jenny Horvat there from the Bureau of Meteorology.
All right, let's head to SOPOL. Senior Constable Matt Brown's on the line. Matt, a drink driver's been caught at Lindock this morning.
That's right, Will. Just after 1:10 a.m, police were travelling on Jollytown Road when a gold Subaru caught their attention ahead as it was swerving in and out of the lane. And patrol stopped the vehicle on Gilbert Street and spoke to the driver, and she underwent a breath test which returned a positive reading of .184, which is nearly 3 times the legal limit. And further checks revealed the driver was driving without a licence as well. So the 32-year-old woman from Lyndoch was reported for drink driving and driving unlicensed. She was issued a further 12-month immediate loss of licence notice. Her car was impounded for 28 days, so she'll receive a summons to appear in court at a later date.
Matt, also 4 teenagers have been arrested after a pursuit that began at Gillis Plains.
That's right, David. About 4:30 a.m. today, police were called to a house in Millbank Avenue after reports that 3 males had broken into the victim's house, armed with weapons. Now, the suspects stole cash and other items from inside, and they fled the scene in a stolen Jeep station wagon driven by a 4th person. The car had been stolen from a North Adelaide house on Wednesday, the 11th of September. No one was injured, but Polly tracked the vehicle as it travelled towards the city on North East Road and then south through the eastern suburbs, and headed west on Green Hill Road and Anzac Highway, before heading south on Main South Road, where road spikes were successfully used as St Mary's. The car continued south on the Southern Expressway before being dumped in the car park of a hotel at Darlington, and police dogs Axe and Enzo were called to the scene to help patrols search for the 4 suspects, who were located near Flagstaff Road and Ellie Court. So a 17-year-old boy from Elizabeth Grove, a 16-year-old Gillies Plains boy, and 2 15-year-old boys from Paraka and Holden Hill will face numerous charges, including aggravated serious criminal trespass, theft, and engaging in a police pursuit. So some good teamwork there by the 2-legged and 4-legged officers.
Yeah, what a combination, as is so often the case at SAPOL. Great stuff, Matt. Matt Brown, Senior Constable from SAPOL.
All right, let's head out on the road and check in with Jade Robran, who reporting for us thanks to Dutton's, family owned and operated for 75 years and easy to do business with. Jade, we're on the cusp of TV's Night of Nights in the US. Good morning to you.
That is correct, and it is the morning of mornings, our time. The who's who of the small screen will be just about getting ready to walk the red carpet for the 76th Emmy Awards. Winning one of these babies is the highest honour you can receive in television, aside from a Logies, of course. It kicks off 8 p.m. Sunday in the US. For us in Australia, that translates to today at 10:30 a.m. If you want to watch it, you'll have to take a 3-hour-long lunch break and tune into either Foxtel, or you can stream it on Binge. Eugene Levy and Dan Levy will play host. They're a father-son duo from Schitt's Creek, and they're making Emmy history as the first family tag team to host. They're hilarious, so that'll be entertaining. But everyone is talking about Japanese historical drama Shogun and on comedy The Bear. They're leading the field. Now, Shogun has 24 nominations and The Bear 23. Breakout hit Baby Reindeer is up for 11 awards. And another one to watch out for is Only Murders in the Building and also The Crown, both of which they've snagged a significant number of nods as well. Aussies have traditionally been really strong performers at the Emmys, but were a bit thin on the ground this year. Elizabeth Debicki and also Naomi Watts, they have been nominated. Debicki, of course, plays an incredible but tricky role of Princess Diana in The Crown, and Watts plays an excellent New York socialite in Feud Capote v. The Swans. Now, Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon, their Morning Wars is up for 16 awards, but they're not expected to dominate the day. Now, guys, I will not be watching because there are important Swans tickets to buy at that time, and that is where I'm heading now, so I will check in with you guys in a very short moment.
All right, we're looking forward to that. Suddenly, they're going to be, I reckon there'll be people there early to get lining up for tickets.
Absolutely. It is amazing, isn't it? We were chatting off air before about, like, if that Sicily kick goes through, what's today look like from a media perspective?
They'd be camped out at Alberton.
Yep.
Media would be sitting there right now.
Would be probably trying to get Koshy on the show.
Yep.
There'd be texts flying around everywhere.
Rumours.
Yeah.
Press conferences and board meetings. And
it's incredible, isn't it?
It's amazing how the width of a goalpost.
But no one will remember the losers either. Like, it's, if Port keep going the way they are and make it through, then it'll be their year. That'll be the whole story.
Yeah, well,
amazing, isn't it?
Exactly right. Today we're talking about giving away grand final tickets, and potentially Port could well be there. We'll get Roey's take on the weekend of sport after 7 o'clock today. Hope Only Murders in the Building gets up. I love that show. I think it's absolutely hilarious.
I was actually heartened to hear that there's 2 TV shows that I've watched in their entirety that are up for Emmys. The Bear, about the restaurant in Chicago. I love that. That is such a good show.
It's a great show.
And although the ending of season 3 left you a bit flat, didn't it? Anyway, let's not talk about endings. Don't want to give away. Don't want to be the spoiler guys. And the other show, Baby Reindeer, 11 nominations.
I haven't seen that one. But
haven't you seen it?
No.
Oh, it's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen on television.
Yeah, no, nothing.
Something else
I've heard about it makes me want to see it.
Oh, it's
not really my genre of crime type stuff. It doesn't really.
Well, it's not even really crime. It's just, how would you even describe it? I do not know. It's one of those things you wouldn't tell your mum to watch it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to, you sort of watch it in the privacy of your own home with someone you trust.
All right. Well, 5AA News is coming up. What we're going to do is we're going to head to the US immediately after 5AA News for the latest on a Secret Service press conference in which it was revealed that Donald Trump, there was another attempt on his life overnight at his golf course at Trump International.
And speaking of political assassinations, we were talking about how many there have been, both successful and attempted in the US over the years. A couple of people texted in about Percy Brookfield, who was a socialist MP from New South Wales, who was assassinated in South Australia at the Riverton railway station in 1921. He was a mad lefty, but he was being attacked by a Russian who he was trying to disarm, and he got shot dead.
5AA News coming up. Our wrap of the morning's big stories next.
Right Price, Adelaide's best in heating and cooling, has risen to new heights. Literally, Right Price are now your roofing people too. Same exceptional service, value and quality. From total roof replacement, including tiled roof installation, to tile roof repairs, cleaning and painting. And for peace of mind, a rock solid quote. So the only surprise you'll get is how magnificent your roof and home looks. Do it right. Visit rightpriceroofing.com.au.
You can get your roof right at Right Price.
Hey mate, I need a couple of 2x4s and 4x6s moved down over here.
Mate, why are you yelling?
Sorry mate, I'm just used to it.
There's no need to yell. In fact, there's no need to do much at all thanks to the all-new electric excavator by Volvo. With no noise and no emissions, there's really no worries. Inquire today through Warren Mining and
enjoy the sound of silence!
Now, hearing loss as you get older is annoying for all involved, but help is here. If you're struggling to hear your loved ones or find yourself turning the TV volume up way too loud, here's some great news.
Audica has opened new hearing clinics in Glenelg, St Agnes and Golden Grove, continuing their mission to help more people hear better. With 56 Audica clinics statewide, personalised hearing care is always nearby.
If you're over 26, you can book your free hearing check today. Call 1300 460 460 or book online at audica.com.au.
Love your ears. Book today at Audica.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
Local news and information first. This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny, 17 today. With the 7 o'clock news, I'm Lucy Loken.
Make RAA-approved windscreen repairer, Complete Windscreens, your insurer repairer of choice. Visit completewindscreens.com.au.
The FBI is investigating a second assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Authorities have arrested a man and found an AK-47-style rifle on the edge of Trump National Golf Club, where Mr. Trump was indeed playing around. Sheriff Rick Bradshaw says the Secret Service did a great job.
They have an agent that jumps one hole ahead of time to where the president was at. And he was able to spot this rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and immediately engage that individual, at which time the individual took off. Now, in the bushes where this guy was is a AK-47 style rifle with a scope.
Donald Trump is safe. A man fled the scene in a vehicle and he was arrested nearby and taken into custody. Back home now, 4 teenagers have been arrested after a house invasion at Gillis Plains early this morning. It's alleged they broke into a house in Millbank Avenue around 4:30 armed with weapons and stole cash and other items before fleeing in a stolen Jeep station wagon. Senior Constable Matt Brown told 5AA that police pursued them to Darlington, where they dumped the car in a hotel car park.
Police dogs Axe and Enzo were called to the scene to help patrols search for the 4 suspects, who were located near Flagstaff Road and Ellie Court. So a 17-year-old boy from Elizabeth Grove, a 16-year-old Gillies Plains boy and 2 15-year-old boys from Paraka and Holden Hill will face numerous charges, including aggravated serious criminal trespass, theft and engaging in a police pursuit.
The AFL has fined Ken Hinkley $20,000 for conduct unbecoming. The Port Adelaide coach had a clash of words with Hawthorn forward Jack Ginnivan and captain James Sicily on Friday night after the semi-final. Hinkley did publicly apologise sincerely after the game, but the AFL has made it clear there is an expectation for coaches to stay away from players post-match. Dementia advocates say Australians living with the condition are being socially isolated by others due to a lack of understanding. Efforts are underway to reduce the stigma and discrimination being faced by those diagnosed this Dementia Action Week. Dementia Australia Learning Director David Sykes is challenging state and federal governments to make communities more inclusive.
We're really encouraging the community, governments at all levels, businesses, community groups, to really look at how they can be more inclusive of and friendly towards people living with dementia.
And international flight services between Adelaide and Guangzhou will resume with the resumption of flights on China Southern Airlines. The airline will be restarting in Adelaide at the end of the year and will take the route 3 times a week. China Southern Airlines first launched their services here in December 2016 before COVID halted their operations in 2020. It's expected to see millions of dollars injected into the state every year. Now turning to FIVEAA Sport.
The 2024 Mitsubishi Triton comes with 10 years warranty, plus 3 years free servicing, only at Agostino Mitsubishi.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Lucy. Port Adelaide will be keeping a close eye on several players as it prepares for Friday night's preliminary final against Sydney at the SCG. The Power are a chance to regain Ryan Burton, who missed the match against Hawthorn with a calf complaint, while Todd Marshall and Charlie Dixon will also be close watchers. And there's reports Kane Farrell could be an outside chance to come back into the side. That's despite suffering what was at the time thought to be a high-grade hamstring injury that would keep him out for the rest of the season. That was in the final match of the minor round. Well, meantime, Collingwood great Tony Shaw is endorsing the Pies taking the punt on Jake Stringer. The Essendon forward is pushing for a 2-year deal, but the Bombers are only offering 1. Shaw believing he'd be a strong combination with Jordan De Goey.
Why not take a punt on him 2 years? You're going to take on 1. You might have stipulations in the second. He has to meet some things in the first, and you get him. But very dangerous player. We know what his problems are, but we know he can win games.
Another very good day for McLaren in Azerbaijan. Australia's Oscar Piastri had an epic duel with Carlos Sainz and went on to take the checkered flag. Meanwhile, teammate Lando Norris finished ahead of Max Verstappen in 4th. That's despite starting from 15th. Let's go to tennis, and Australia has finished the Davis Cup group stage with a loss to host nation Spain, finishing 2nd in the group. Both nations, though, had already qualified for the final 8 in Malaga in November. Well, the third men's T20 match between Australia and England has been washed out, meaning the series finishes in a 1-1 draw. In the English Premier League, Ange Postecoglou's Tottenham have gone down 1-0 to bitter rivals Arsenal, while Newcastle came from a goal down to beat Wolverhampton 2-1. And Naomi Fox has won bronze in the kayak cross at the Canoe Slalom World Cup event in Italy. And that's the FIVEAA Sport.
Thank you, Tom. Now checking FIVEAA traffic.
Speak to the Adelaide Convention Centre and let them elevate your vision for your next event or function.
Morning there, roads looking A-OK. A pretty fresh start to a Monday, but rates and breakdown free, so that is a good start. Do have works of Prospect to look out for. Main North Road near Penn Place. Also North Adelaide, Park Terrace near Hawker Street. And slow at the moment at Payne. That's for those ongoing works. Portrush Road near Rosella Street. Speeds at 40. Early morning cameras, Gorge Road, Athelston and Beaverich Road at Ingle Farm. Care for your pet with Healthy Pets Plus. Members enjoy all standard consultations and annual vaccinations at Green Cross Vets, plus more. Search Healthy Pets Plus. T's and C's apply. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on FIVEAA.
Now the FIVEAA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
Mostly sunny, 17 today. Mostly sunny, 19 tomorrow. Sunny, 22 on Wednesday. And a shower or 2 on Thursday, 17. Right now it's 4.6. More news as it happens on FIVEAA.
City Discount Tires.
Get saving this month at City Discount Tires. Grab 3 Falcon Zig ZE 310R passenger car tires and get the 4th tyre absolutely free. Experience top-notch performance with exceptional grip on both wet and dry surfaces. Steer your way to citydiscounttires.com.au for even more great deals. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tires.
FIVEAA. Always Adelaide.
Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across MY24 range. Petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. FIVEAA Breakfast.
8 minutes after 7, good morning to you and welcome to 5AA Breakfast. If you're joining us for the first time on this Monday morning, cool start, whether you're in Birdwood, Fairview Park or Wallaroo, all listeners who text us in the first hour with an apparent temperature in the negatives this morning, ranging from -1 to -3. It's been a very, very cool start to the day. It's going to warm up a little bit, but not massively. That said, if you are a fan of freezing cold nights and mornings, you're going to love tomorrow as well, where another overnight low predicted of just 3 degrees. Lots to talk about, though, this morning. Breaking news out of the United States. It has been confirmed another assassination attempt on the life of US presidential candidate and former US President Donald Trump. We've heard from the Secret Service. We're going to play you a bit of their press conference very, very shortly. It's all been conducted in the last half an hour, and we'll get on top of that. In fact, we're going to head to the US in just a moment and try and get the latest from you. Also, we're going to talk about the case of this footballer that was hit on the weekend and left in a coma. We've got some new detail that's just come through in the last few moments on that story. Stephen Roey is coming up this half hour. We'll get his thoughts on the Ken Hinkley sanction, $20,000 for the brouhaha post-game.
I'll tell you what, as we said at the start of the show, we are a nation of snowflakes. It's just pathetic. Yep. I really can't believe it. And I say that as a Crow supporter. You know, I don't think... Who's tut-tutting about this? And saying, well, a statement has to be said. It's just pathetic.
It is. It's ludicrous. There's the same country that provided, as we said, produced Steve Waugh and Janice Lilly and Shane Warne.
Yeah.
None of them make it through juniors in 2024.
Ian Chappell.
None of them make it as the player that we ended up loving, based on the policy settings of how we think about sport in Australia now.
They've got behavioural problems.
That's right. They either had
iron them out.
The bits that we love about them, they'd have those bits hewn off or chopped off, or they would just never make it through the system.
Yeah.
It's boring robots.
Yeah.
And the AFL is the biggest contributor to that. They just want a totally sterile, sanitised and boring environment.
Yeah, you think about all the old school coaches as well, you know, giving players rev ups. You know, now, I mean, the former North Melbourne coach, he got ousted for, you know, being a little bit too harsh on his players who, you know, seem to have mastered the art of winning wooden spoons over the last decade.
I'd like to know what the history is in sport anywhere on earth where a governing body has gotten involved in a, let's use the phrase, you know, a war of words, an exchange of words, when neither party even cussed.
Yeah, no swearing.
Has that ever happened?
Yeah.
Was there a fine's been...
So the key drivers of being punished in 2024 normally are racism, homophobia, profanity. This was a man going, making a plain gesture in response to an Instagram post which was basically saying, we're going to win this game.
Wasn't it? He was saying to his mate, we'll see you in 14 days.
Yeah.
Like, it was the whole exchange, seriously.
Someone said we need a live-style takeover where we actually get some party people running the AFL instead of the po-faced wowsers that are doing it at the moment.
So there's a thought. It did, of course, come up post-game on Friday night here on 5AA. Here's Timmy and Treaders on the Hinkley exchange.
Media Street's going to grab that. Come on.
It's going to...
That's going to be on every show every night.
Should he have done it? He said he shouldn't have. Probably right.
He knows straight away.
But he has jumped straight up and said...
Yep, that at least limits the damage to some extent.
But just don't get involved in that stuff. Yeah. You know, that is... that's almost luring you in. And, you know, because that's not the last time you play awful.
We'll talk more about that with Roey very, very shortly. Let's head to the US now for the big breaking news of the morning. Another assassination attempt on the life of US President Donald Trump. David Woodward's covering it all for 7 News in the US. David, good morning to you. Our listeners just waking up to the revelation that this has taken place. What have we learned over the course of the last 45 minutes?
Well, guys, as you say, this is now being treated as a second assassination attempt on the former President Donald Trump. He had been playing golf at his Trump International Golf Course in Florida, down at West Palm Beach, of course, where he lives. He had been between holes 5 and 6 at the time. He had that travelling Secret Service guard with him when one of those agents had actually detected the barrel of an AK-47 style weapon actually poking through the bushes from the perimeter of one of the holes that he was about to play. Now, we understand that the agents have then engaged that person. They have fired some shots. That person has given chase. They have got into a car. Quite luckily, a witness has seen it all unfold, and they have taken a photo of that person and that vehicle, and police were able to lock down the entire area, all the freeways and roads surrounding that golf course, and that person has now been apprehended, and they are in custody. Now, in the meantime, Donald Trump, he was put into a golf cart. He was whisked back to the clubhouse. The entire clubhouse was put into lockdown. He'd been playing with a number of allies and key donors to his campaign. In the past few moments, in fact, we've also seen the Trump motorcade make its way back to Mar-a-Lago, where he lives, and that's a very short drive away. Now, at that site where the agents actually engaged this person, a man, they have found a scope that actually fitted on the front of this AK-style weapon. We are told they have found a number of backpacks, 2 backpacks, and a GoPro as well. So we don't know the exact motivation or what the intention was of this person, although it is being treated as an assassination attempt. And the FBI is now taking the lead on that, and they have that person, and they are questioning him right now.
Is there any detail, David, as to whether shots were fired at the president or not, or are they still trying to work that out?
From what we're being told, no shots fired at the president as such. So what happens with this Secret Service guard is that they actually skip a hole ahead of him. They've had to really rethink the way that they cover and protect Donald Trump now, because obviously he loves to play golf as well. So they actually have a detail move ahead a hole, and it was actually one of those agents. So he's probably a hole or so away from where Donald Trump was. We don't actually even know if that person had fired back at the Secret Service or this was just one-way fire as well. So still a few little details that need to be filled in right there, but there was no immediate threat in that sense to Donald Trump, and there was no bullets flying around his head like what we saw at Butler, Pennsylvania, of course, what was that, just a couple of months ago.
Yeah, thank you for that, David. David Warwood for 7 News in the US. You see some pictures on our Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream. You'll see more on 7 tonight about the surroundings, the sort of coverage there is at the golf course, and the kind of area that we're talking about here. Remarkably good work by the Secret Service agent who spotted the rifle. I mean, they've copped some shtick after the slope roof affair of Pennsylvania. But he plays golf a lot.
Yeah.
So the Ford detail is often wandering to the next hole. Yeah, okay. Is he going to make birdie? Do we need a shuffle, or is he going to, is it going to be a 6? And then you walk up to the next hole, look around. How many times would have they done that walk?
Yeah, and like human nature being what it is, you'd think you'd get quite complacent about it.
Yeah.
Where, nothing's going to happen here, and then suddenly, hang on a minute, what's going on?
What's that over there?
Yeah, it is an incredibly vigilant response.
All the details only filtering through now if you've just woken up, because literally it's only been 45 minutes ago or so that the Secret Service, the FBI and the local law enforcement conducted a press conference. They started to fill people in on some of those details. More to come, and as it breaks, you'll hear it here on 5AA. Now, a really scary story locally over the weekend. An Anglevale footballer, Henry Now, was flown to the Royal Adelaide Hospital after being hit during a game against Two Wells at Hamley Bridge Oval. Apparently the game was pretty violent. That's the advertisers reporting suggests it was violent, them speaking to people. The teenager was placed in an induced coma, 17-year-old. Now, we've spoken this morning to his father, Gary, who has sent us through this message. He said, firstly, thank you for reaching out and trying to find out about Henry's condition. He says Henry is awake and responding. He's far away from his usual self yet, but we are hopeful. While his initial scans were positive, he has not had an MRI yet. He says, secondly, I believe that while this is still an ongoing investigation, I'll keep quiet. There's no need to put fuel on the fire. There is footage of the incident, and I would like to see that myself. The second-hand interpretation we've been given does not line up with the recollection Henry has, and he remembers clearly what happened until he got off the field after the incident. We want to see the play ourselves, to either put our minds at ease or to discuss what the next steps will look like. At this stage, Henry's health and recovery are our priority. Happy to talk once we have the right information. Thanks for your understanding. Well, we thank you for sending through that message, Gary, because that's quite illuminating.
It certainly is. Good to hear that the lad sounds like he's responsive. and hopefully the MRI shows that there's been no significant damage. But it sounds like one heck of a game. We're going to be chatting later in the program to the head of the Angle Vale Football and Netball Club, Simon Selly. But Simon yesterday, he put out a statement saying yesterday's grand final was unfortunately marred by careless acts of violence. Angle Vale Football and Netball Club does not condone this behaviour and will be seeking answers on how this is continuously allowed to occur in junior football.
We've actually got a bit of Simon speaking. He caught up with Jonathan Edwards yesterday on his program, the president of Angle Vale Football Club.
At the ground at Hamley Bridge, I'm aware they've got CCTV, the game's being filmed, so we'd expect and demand some answers of what happened, what led up to it, and then the events afterwards. I'd like to also comment the advertiser. There's a bit of a story getting around that the lad that was airlifted to hospital was previously taken off the field with another incident and then allowed back on. That definitely wasn't the case.
Okay.
This was in the first quarter. This was the first hit on that kid. This is the first time he came off. The trainer attended to him straight away. He took no further part in the game. But the story to be around that, we let concussed players back on the field is concerning.
Based on all the coded language that's being used in this, it sounds like there will be an investigation into how young Henry was concussed.
Well, it sounds like he wasn't actually the perpetrator of anything. It sounds like he was just out there playing.
Yeah.
And someone poleaxed him. That's what it sounds like. Unbelievable.
Well, good. The good news, the good take out of that is, as of this morning, his father has told us that he's awake and he's got a recovery ahead of him, but it could have been so much worse. And we've seen it be so much worse in very recent memory here in Adelaide. All right, let's check traffic. When we come back, Stephen Rowe's going to join us. We'll talk about what in the hell the AFL's doing. Ken Inkley sanctioned $20,000 for impersonating a plane after the game. This is where we're at, folks, in 2024.
Who's in the meeting at the AFL deciding this?
All right,
you ever seen the movie Heathers? Where, who plays Princess Leia, quick, in Star Wars? The actress who plays Princess Leia. Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher plays this po-faced social worker in the movie Heathers and is just superb. I've sort of got a vision of her in my mind thinking about the hand ringers at AFL House holding urgent talks about the Hinkley scandal. Someone said it was called a scandal on the TV.
It's a scandal, is it?
How is it a scandal? Unbelievable.
If there is like a mole working at AFL House whose aim is to make it the most uninteresting sporting league on planet Earth, they've had a small victory over it.
Totally. They're doing a great job.
Let's check traffic. The Monopoly game at Macca's is back. Download the My Macca's app to peel, scan and play. Ends October 22.
Thanks, Will. She is looking the goods for the run-in today. We're accident breakdown free, which is fantastic for a Monday. Just some works to look out for you. Find them at Goodwood today. Goodwood Road near Railway Tourist South. Also at Melrose Park, South Road near Dawes Road. And a bit sluggish at the moment, Bedford Park, Flinders Drive near the Southern Expressway, just near the hospital. Cameras, Montague Road, Modbury and Darley Road at Paradise. Glenelg BMW, Adelaide's independent family-owned BMW dealership, situated at 141 Brighton Road, Glenelg South. Experience excellence at Glenelg BMW. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
5AA Mornings with Matthew Pantelis.
Tom Kutsentonis, while I have you, Whyalla, big concerns for the steelworks up there, up to $100 million owing to a number of companies, job losses at the steelworks. What do you think of Gutberg spending $12 million on a new house in Sydney while he owes $100 million over here?
Matthew Pantelis.
Oh, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It's not a good book.
Weekday mornings from 9 on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
Now, let's see what's in the swear jar at Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens. Oh, wrong swear jar. This is it. From Martin the Tiler, affectionately known as Millimetre Martin. He swears you'll love his millimetre-perfect craftsmanship. And here's one from Rick the Plumber. Rick swears to always clean up after himself, guaranteed. For a team that swears to deliver on quality and service, see Buy Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide's home renovation experts.
Summer's on the way. Beat the rush and organise your Walco pool blanket now. Keep your pool clean, warm and reduce evaporation. Uncover the savings with a Walco pool blanket. Visit walco.com.au.
Now, let's say you've signed a building contract, work is underway on your dream home, everyone's excited, and then one day, crunch, your builder hits rock while digging your footings.
So what happens next? Well, most builders will send you a nice letter and then bump up their price with a variation.
But not Rossdale Homes. When you sign their absolute fixed price contract, there are no hidden costs or nasty surprises. The price is fixed, and that's why it's the industry's strongest contract.
So before you build, talk to Adelaide's most trusted builder, Rossdale Homes, because trust is a must.
The biggest threat to your business isn't your competition, it's cybercrime. Cybercrime threats impacting Australian businesses large and small continues to grow year on year. One call to one solution will put your business in a safe place and save you from the devastating consequences of cybercrime. It's the smartest, most cost-effective business decision you'll ever make. Stay safe and protected. Get in touch with One Solution. onesolution.net.au, a Platinum Telstra partner.
Breaking news from Yes, your energy saving solutions. Thanks to mid-year updates to the SA Government's REPS initiative, you can qualify for a new air conditioner at our lowest price ever. Yes now offers eligible concession households a fully installed 2.6 kilowatt Rinnai system from only $299. Enjoy comfort all year round and join over 60,000 Adelaide homes that have said yes to lowering their energy bills. For terms and conditions on this limited offer from your energy saving solutions, visit yess.net.au.
The Honda mid-size SUV stock clearance is on now. Get 8 years warranty and 8 years roadside assist, plus a $1,000 Ampol fuel card on 2023 build Honda ZR-V and CR-Vs. Visit us at Formula Honda to test drive today. Ampol fuel card offer valid until September 30. Different warranty applies for vehicles used for commercial purposes. T's and C's at honda.com.au. Hurry into Formula Honda. Find us at Glen Osmond Road, Glen Osmond, or North East Road, Modbury.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across MY24 range. Petrol and diesel vehicles, T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
It's a ball up. There must be 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds left.
2 seconds on the clock.
Umpire's got to throw it up. They just cannot give away a free kick. He throws it up now. They've come down. Soren's got to go. Not Adelaide yet. Port Adelaide survived the thriller in one of the games of the season. Backs against the wall. Somehow they find a way. And they'll play in a prelim against the Sydney Swans.
Stephen Rowe on 5AA Breakfast.
Good boy!
What a great call by Rennie, Timmy and Warren Dreadray. Absolutely superb. Amazing that we're not talking about that finish today. It's the silliness of the AFL. But let's talk about all that transpired on the weekend and what lies ahead. Stephen Rowe joins us on 5AA Breakfast. Roey, good morning to you.
We'll just park the AFL trivialness with that. Fine, we'll get to that. But Port Adelaide, I thought, in a word, was sensational. They played angry. They smashed into Hawthorn for 120 minutes, inspired, I think, by Ken Hinkley. And a smart-ass small forward in Jack Ginnivan, who shot his gob off. He gave them ammo and motivation. Ken said that post-match. And I bet you $1 million Sam Mitchell would have preferred that Jack didn't go on social media, and I know his teammates would have preferred that he didn't make those comments and fire Port up, because they poked a bear, and in AFL you don't poke bears, and in Ken's words he used it, and that was a great win for him and a great win for the club. And getting back to him giving Jack a spray after the game, oh my goodness. This is where you land when you let too many lawyers run your organisation, and that's the AFL. They're petty, they're trivial. $20,000 in the emotion of a game, shooting your gob off for 2 seconds to a bloke that was a smart ass. Oh, I can't believe that.
As we were saying before, Roey, with no racism, no homophobia,
nothing,
no swearing,
word.
no. Yeah, he didn't say you effing idiot or anything like that.
No.
It was just, you're not going to Sydney.
Oh, God.
Pathetic.
Oh, my God. Have we landed here? Honestly, I did we have a WhatsApp, Timmy, me, Treaders, our bosses, Sam, Justin, and I said yesterday when that landed, let's seriously do a GoFundMe page, because this is just
there is one.
Absolute.
Someone else has beat you to it.
Well, 5AA's tipping in. Well, I will personally. That is a joke.
It's ridiculous.
Oh, my God. You know what? You know who should have got fined, and I hope does never get another game, certainly in the finals, is the clown of an umpire that gave Lockie Jones a free kick against to get their first goal for what I would have thought was the perfect tackle. In actual fact, there were 3 dodgy decisions where Hawthorn got a goal. Oh, man. And I bet you, that's okay, fellas.
The umps kept them in it in that second quarter.
Oh, my God.
That was shocking.
So what was worse? Ken showing emotion, which we love, and copying a 20 grand fine, or an umpire getting it horribly wrong in a cutthroat final? You tell me.
Well, see, this is where, to broaden it out a bit, I mean, a few weeks ago we had Koshy on the show after the showdown going, before the next showdown, I think we need to reach out to John Olsen and talk about, taking the heat out of these things. Like, what? Passion is what you want. And I thought it was interesting. We had Peter Malinauskas on the show as Premier and also as a massive Port fan. We asked him about that, and he said, "No, that's what you go to the footy for."
Well, that's right. Does the AFL want to be the sport?
Said the same thing too. He said, "There's no evidence that showdowns are getting violent, and isn't this sort of what sport's about?"
Do they want the AFL to be the most passionless, emotionless, sterile sporting experience on planet Earth? Because it's hard to derive any other conclusion from what kind of conduct the AFL comes down hard on.
If they don't actually designate an end point to all of this, it will actually end up like under sevens where you don't even score because somebody might get upset that they lost.
But just look at it through Ken's eyes. Just look at it through the reality of what sport is. It's an emotional game, and so is Ken. He got death-ridden all week by certain elements of fans. If they lose, you're out. We thought you'd come to Monday and there'd be an announcement. That was the talk all week. He motivates that team on the back of that comment and then makes a simple 5-word comment back, and he cops a 20 grand fine. I'm flabbergasted with this. Just one thing before you go. I don't know what's worse, that or our 2 airlines price gouging flights to Sydney. Have you seen the prices from Adelaide to Sydney?
Over $1,000, isn't it?
Some as high as 1,700.
Are they allowed? I know I say this all the time. ACCC should look at this on behalf of bloody. I can't believe they do that. Anyway,
well, they do it all the time. Then they argue it's just supply demand. Everybody wants to go there, so it's going to, the scarcity of the tickets.
You name another business that can do that with their pricing. Anyway, good on Ken, good on the club. They're in a prelim. We'll see you at 4.
Hey, Roey, the GoFundMe for Ken's up to $1,900 at the moment, so he's got, what's that, $18,100 to go.
Okay, well, I'm going to go through my little piggy bank, get some little crispies out.
All right, I thought you might chip in for the rest of the way, but obviously there's a little bit of work to go.
Well, double A. Well, the sports show. I need to put the cap around when I get in at 2 o'clock. Don't put it all on me.
Good on you, Roey.
On your Roey. See you guys.
Roey and Timmy G a little bit later this afternoon. We're going to take a break. Stacy Lee's coming up next.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny, 17 today with the 7:30 news. I'm Lucy Loken.
Chipped windscreen? RAA approved repairer Complete Windscreens repairs it from just $99. Find the big red koala.
The FBI is investigating another assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Authorities in the US have arrested a man and found an AK-47 style rifle on the edge of a Florida golf course where Mr. Trump was playing around in West Palm Beach. Authorities have held a media conference.
They have an agent that jumps one hole ahead of time to where the president was at. And he was able to spot this rifle barrel sticking out of the fence and immediately engage that individual, at which time the individual took off. Now, in the bushes where this guy was is a AK-47 style rifle with a scope.
A man fled the scene in a vehicle. He was arrested nearby and taken into custody. It's been a cool start to the day with temperatures as low as 2.8 degrees in the CBD just after 5 a.m. Around the state, it reached -1 in Lameroo and Roseworthy and 1 degree in the Barossa and Kadina. Jenny Horvat from the Bureau of Meteorology told David and Will we'll still see a cool morning again tomorrow.
Again tomorrow morning we will be expecting a bit of a chilly start. We've got this high pressure system sitting south of the Bight at the moment, but it is going to
move across the eastern districts tomorrow, so still maintaining those light winds and clear skies.
A new therapy is showing promising results for early-stage prostate cancer patients. Usually used to treat patients in the later stages of the disease, the liquid radiation locks onto cancer cells, sparing healthy ones. A clinical trial by the Peter MacCallum Cancer Centre shows 41% of patients who had the infusion are in remission, compared with 16% who underwent normal procedures. More affordable homes will be built across the country to help meet increasing demand. The federal government is investing $9.2 billion over the next decade to build thousands of new dwellings. Housing Minister Claire O'Neill says construction is forecast to get underway within the next 12 months.
These homes will be targeted at frontline workers as well as women and children fleeing violence and older women who are experiencing homelessness. For some of these people, this will be the first time they'll have safe and affordable housing in their lives.
Long-time South Australian MP Rowan Ramsey is retiring at the next federal election, with the Liberals now announcing his replacement. Former banker and farm manager Tom Venning will be the Liberal candidate for the seat of Grey. Geographically, Grey covers 92% of our state, stretching from as far south as Marion Bay on the foot of the Yorke Peninsula to the borders of Northern Territory and Queensland. And floods are sweeping through Central and Eastern Europe after a low-pressure system named Boris brought torrential rain and floods. 6 people have died across Romania, Austria and Poland, while in the Czech Republic 250,000 homes have been left without power. This affected resident has told the BBC their daily food supplies and livestock have been destroyed.
We don't have food, water, clothes. It killed the dogs, the pigs, it killed all the chickens, all the grains.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
The 2024 Mitsubishi Triton comes with 10 years warranty, plus 3 years free servicing, only at Agostino Mitsubishi.
Good morning, Tom Wren.
And a very good morning to you as well, Lucy. Port Adelaide's players will have a light session at Alberton this morning, following Friday night's thrilling 3-point win against Hawthorn. The Power will keep a close eye on a couple of key forwards, with Todd Marshall, who was subbed out, and Charlie Dixon, who was a late withdrawal, both pushing to play on Friday night against Sydney. Meantime, in the AFLW, the Crows are one of 2 sides to start the season with 3 straight wins. Daniel Ponta magnificent, booting 5 goals as they took care of Hawthorn by 26 points. Well, Australian Oscar Piastri has claimed his second Formula 1 Grand Prix in Azerbaijan ahead of Charles Leclerc and George Russell. Fellow Aussie Dan Ricciardo was back in 13th place. Piastri is now cemented in 4th in the Drivers' Championship, but is within touching distance of Leclerc, who's only 13 points ahead in 3rd. Meantime, in the V8s, Will Brown has secured his 4th win of the year and extended his championship lead after taking out the Sandown 500 yesterday.
He's resisted all of the challenges and he stitches together career victory number 9 at Sandown.
Yeah, great result there. Australia has finished the Davis Cup group stage with a loss to host nation Spain. They did, though, still finish second in the group. Craig Gabriel reports.
It was a deciding final set of the deciding doubles match that gave Spain its 2-1 victory over Australia, but both nations had already qualified for the final 8 in Malaga in November. This determined the group winner, which is Spain. Pedro Martinez and Marcel Granollers defeated Matt Ebden and Max Brissell 5-7, 6-4, 6-4. Earlier, Jordan Thompson lost from a winning position, leading 5-2 in the final set, as Pablo Carreño Busta came back to win 2-6, 6-2, 7-6. Alexi Poprin then levelled the tie over Martinez.
And that is, Lucy, the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Tom. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Speak to the Adelaide Convention Centre and let them elevate your vision for your next event or function.
Morning there, looking pretty peachy and perfect, which is great for the roads today. Accident and breakdown free, which is nice. Do have works to look out for. You'll find them South Road, Edwardstown and Glandore. Ongoing works there, speeds at 40. Also at Wingfield, the Salisbury Highway to the Wingfield interchange, and a little bit slow at the moment at Unley, Greenhill Road near the Unley Road intersection. Cameras, Darley Road, Paradise and Grange Road at Grange. School's nearly out and adventures are in at Discovery Parks with year-round experience for the whole family. Getting quick to secure your holiday booking at Discovery Parks. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
Mostly sunny 17 today, mostly sunny 19 tomorrow, sunny 22 for Wednesday, and a shower or 2 17 on Thursday. Right now it's 6.8. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Need a truck, van, car, ute, hybrid, 12 to 25 seater bus or something else? Budget Car and Truck Rental have you sorted. Plus trolleys, trailers, boxes, furniture covers, tapes, blankets and many other accessories. Whatever the job, Budget is your one-stop shop. With multiple locations across Metro and regional SA, it couldn't be easier. Budget Car and Truck Rental. Get to the good stuff. Call 13 27 27 or visit budget.com.au.
Don't just get a forklift, get a Toyota forklift. Deliver more with Toyota, the world's #1 forklift brand. Choose from a great range including pallet jacks, walkie stackers and reach forklifts, right up to their leading Toyota counterbalance forklifts. Legendary reliability and safety with cleaner, greener electric options. Toyota can tailor the right forklift solution for you. For more, visit toyotamaterialhandling.com.au. Get a Toyota forklift.
Have you heard about the sunrise swim banana or the morning stroll banana? The kicking goals banana, the rowing banana, the mowing banana, the frisbee throwing banana? Well, now you have. You see, whatever you think, there's a banana to make your body sing.
Imagine a workplace that inspires productivity and creativity and reflects a connection with nature. With locally sourced furniture and custom printed fabrics and finishes to suit your brand and workspace, our office furniture is crafted to perfection. At Keen Office Furniture, we're dedicated to creating exceptional workspaces, and our furniture is designed to inspire and endure. We inspire productivity naturally. Let us help you create a workspace that inspires. Keen Office Furniture. Work happy. Get keen.
G'day everyone, Cornsey here. Now I know a great team when I see one, and the South Australian hydraulic team I rate the highest is BL Shipway. The Shipway team are the best in the business. They've been looking after your hydraulic and pneumatic needs since 1953 with brands like Ryco, Rexroth, Enerpac, Hydac, Oilpath, EasyFit and many more. If you can't get to them, they'll send a Ryco 24/7 van to you anytime, anywhere. blshipway.com.au, a South Australian team you can count on.
Now, we've had some outrageous power bills lately. I was only talking a couple of weeks ago. I think it was a year-on-year, I think it was a 35% increase. Just ridiculous. That's why we rang the good people at NRG Solar, because they were only going in the one direction, the kitchen, the pool, and having 6 people in the house at all times. The bills really add up. So NRG came to our rescue with a great solution that includes having a battery, and that's been a game changer. If you're looking at getting into solar, get in touch with NRG Solar. Their experience and knowledge is second to none. Visit nrgsolar.com.au and make tomorrow brighter.
Dreaming of renovating or building? Then come and see us at the Building Ideas Centre. The Building Ideas Centre is a new massive showroom packed with all the latest designs and products to bring your dreams to life. We offer an impressive mix of renovation essentials. We're talking kitchens, bathrooms, heating and cooling, tiles and so much more. From modest budgets to grand designs, we've got you covered. Let us help you bring your dreams to life at the Building Ideas Centre, 279 Growth Street in the city.
Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across MY24 range, petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
20 minutes to 8. If you're on the Foodland Supermarkets Facebook and YouTube live stream, you'll note we've been joined in the studio by Stacy Lee, thanks to Keen Office Furniture. Keen Education Furniture leading the way in office and education furniture right here, NSA. And you'll note too, she's got the power scarf on. Yes. Delighted with the Friday night result.
Oh, thank God. I couldn't go.
You went to the wrong game those days. You went to the first one, not the second one.
To the one they lost.
What was the blood rate, the heart rate like at 9:30 on Friday night?
I was sitting in East End Cellars. I had a friend here who was visiting from overseas, and so I already had a catch-up organised with her, and she chose the one venue in the city that did not have a TV.
I was going to say, Stace, East End Cellars, it's more of a Crows fan sort of venue than a...
East End is great, but it's not great for watching footy.
Beautiful wines, it's a great venue, but...
You go there for the Sangiovese and the foie gras, don't you? It's not really the Arca Bar Hotel sports bar, is it?
We had a bowl of chips and the game on a phone, leaning up against a wine bottle, everyone watching. Oh my God, it was full on. But hey, we got there. I was disappointed I couldn't be there for it, and now I'm researching how long it takes to drive to Sydney.
1,300 kilometres.
Pick up another job if you want to fly to Sydney at the moment. Might talk more about that later in the show.
What a joke. It's such a joke. This is where, if Qantas or Jets or whoever it is, Virgin, really wanted a bit of a reputational makeover, Put on an extra flight and give everyone $200 tickets. Put on it one extra flight. That's all it would take. One extra flight to take everyone over, bring everyone back, take everyone on Friday
Take it out of the
morning,
marketing budget if you don't make maximum profits or whatever.
As if they wouldn't fill that plane.
Yeah.
People wouldn't. I reckon people would pay. You'd probably be happy to pay $400 return.
Yeah.
Around that.
Totally, definitely.
As long as it's not $2,000 return. But how easy would this? Such a free kick for an airline that wants to do something good.
Well,
Put on one extra flight.
But I don't think they care. I mean, they don't even have direct international flights out of Adelaide anymore. They've ceded that space to Qatar and Emirates. And
Such a joke.
The national carrier doesn't do international flights out of Adelaide.
Yeah.
What a joke that is.
The other thing, I totally disagree with both of you on the Ken Hinkley stuff.
Oh, what? You want him thrown out of the game?
I am a Port fan, but I think it was out of line.
Seriously?
I did not like it. He did more than a little plain action. There were words exchanged. I don't know exactly what he said. It didn't sound like it was that bad.
You're not flying anywhere, mate.
Yeah. I didn't like it. It was a coach to an opposing player. I think it was Timmy G. I heard after the game on the drive home said the only thing worse than a sore loser is a sore winner. I didn't like it. I just think it was totally unnecessary. Ken did not need to say anything to get. How old's Ginnivan? Leave him alone. It was so unnecessary. They won. Take the win and leave it alone. And now it's turned into this.
A few texters have said that, and also saying that as a coach, you don't want to set a precedent where coaches start getting involved with players, because next thing you know, a player will turn around and thump a coach.
There is and it sounds over the top.
Or
I
vice
get
versa.
it, but there is a power imbalance there. He's the coach of a team. Ginnivan's a young player. I didn't like it. I don't think it was
a lippy little show off.
Yeah, but whatever.
Who had it coming, I reckon.
Whatever.
But see, this is where I think this is the kind of natural conversation that legitimately should happen out of an incident that didn't deserve sanction. Like, I think people should and I think I actually don't think there's any danger of this continuing because of the nature of the fallout. Ken Hinkley's taken all the focus off what was a great achievement by doing what he did, right? That's the punishment. You don't have the AFL coming in and levying a $20,000 fine.
Yeah, I agree, that's over the top.
It's absolutely ludicrous. And I think people should be able to get around and say, should have given and done what he did? Yes, no. Should have Ken? Yes, no. That's discussion about humans playing sport. Sometimes emotion gets too much. I'm glad it does happen. I'm glad Jack Ginnivan did tweet what he did. I'm glad there are Jack Ginnivans in football.
Completely.
Because it'd be the lamest sport on earth if there wasn't villains, if there wasn't overly emotional coaches, if there weren't people that did the right and wrong thing. If they're robots, I don't want to watch that crap anymore. Like,
I agree.
So I don't think you're wrong, Stacey, in saying we should have occasionally a coach that we say, is he too hot-headed? Like, that's a sport conversation.
It's one of the key reasons.
Actionable behaviour.
It's one of the key reasons tennis is the least interesting sport to watch. Because
they're not allowed to do anything.
How many people, like, since McEnroe and Connors, it's probably why Kyrgios became a cult figure. Because there's so many sort of robots
They're
out
all
there.
robots.
A generation of people love John McEnroe.
Yeah, totally.
And now, John McEnroe doesn't last 5 minutes today.
Right.
Stacey, a lot of support.
I don't think he deserved a $20,000 fine. I don't think it was on par with Jason McCartney. I don't think it was on par
that was
with
physical.
That was physical. It's
Yeah,
different. I don't think he deserved a $20,000 fine, but I don't think he should have done it. I did not like it, and I think the AFL used the word unbecoming. It was unbecoming. I think it was. I agree with them on that. It was very unbecoming. He did not need to get involved. He's the coach. He should be held to a higher standard than the players.
A lot of support for you, Stacey, coming through on the Duttons text line. Stacey, you're right. Well said, Stacey. Could have incited a fight. I'm with you, Stacey. I'm a power supporter, and I thought it was unbecoming.
Unbecoming.
What Kenny
it's
said.
the word.
Conduct unbecoming.
I didn't like it.
Someone's called you a left-wing softie.
Oh, there we go. Here we go. They know how much I love that. Next it'll be woke.
Yeah, woke.
Soft and woke I was called last week.
Stacey Wokeley.
Last week I was called soft and woke because I did not think our kids should be chucked on scales in school, whether they should be weighed or not. And I said no, and I was called soft and woke. I thought, all right. Sure.
Yeah. The best is when you hit for the cycle, you're soft, woke, and a right-wing nut job all in the same
yeah.
segment.
Oh, yeah.
That's always the good one.
Wait for it.
That's
All of the above.
I have some sad news today.
Time to say goodbye.
You better not be announcing your retirement, Stacey.
Hope not. Might not be my choice after that. No, today it is time to farewell. Tales of Tarzia. These secret emails being sent out to journos. We apparently did not know who they were from, although...
Got our suspicions.
Reading the last few, it might be pretty obvious. Tales of Tarzia, late on Friday evening, sent out an email telling us all that this is the end, friends. Thank you for welcoming us into your inboxes, co-opting our words in presses, and giving us our 17 paragraphs of fame. Hi, Paul Starrick. So long, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, adieu to you and you and you. No more Tales of Tarzia.
What's the Latin, Quo Bono? Who benefits? Using that logic, like they were, how do we put this nice? They were presented a version of events in the Liberal Party that was sympathetic to David Spears.
Yes.
Is that fair representation, Stacey?
Very fair representation. Look, I think that did have a lot of information in the emails that led us to believe it was someone in the know. There was a lot of information. A lot of it turned out to be wrong. I think they had predicted that over the weekend the Ramsey pre-selection would go to... I'm just going to check my words, but they kept saying right-wing nut job. They were abbreviating RWNJs, right-wing nut jobs.
One of Alex Antics people.
Yeah, and it did not. It went to Tom Venning over the weekend, so he's not one of those,
Keeping the
apparently.
Venning dynasty going.
He was
His
supported.
old man Ivan, he was a member for 22 years. And his dad before him was an MP. The Crystal Brook Liberal Party clique that they are.
He was supported by Anne Ruston, so you'd think he was not right-wing nor a nut job. So that was
calling people names.
Yeah, incorrect. But they did have a bit of an insight into how things were going in the leader's office and pre-Vincent Tarzia, post-David Spears. So anyway...
Well, maybe whoever was writing Tales of Tarzia's decided that they just need to pull back and recuperate and just take a few days off or something. Take a bit of time off to...
Chill.
Yeah.
And
whoever it is.
On David Spears and his future, I can only see this going two ways. He'll have to return at some point from wherever he's been. I think he has to either go to the first situation is go to the police and report the deep fake and elaborate hoax, in his words, or resign. That I can only see this going two ways. I think it can only go one of those ways. Because if he doesn't report it to the police, it leaves the door open for people to speculate and presume what may or may not be true.
Yeah, it's a fatal credibility hit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's done it.
Well,
he says
that's
it's
almost
a fake,
Vincent Tarzia's position. Well, when you look at what Vincent Tarzia has said, I've spoken to David, he's assured me it's a fake, and in that context I've told him he has to report it. So, yeah, if he doesn't, what's his explanation for not reporting it? Oh, I just didn't want to go through the hardship of an investigation.
But then you leave that door open forevermore.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right.
I actually think it was very good politics of Vincent Tarzia to respond in that way. It like you said, it kind of puts David Spears in the corner. It's a bit of a put up or shut up, make your call, and we see how it goes from here.
Who's in the Keenhoppers Furniture hot seat this week?
I think it's got to be David Spears.
Yeah, you're right. Big decision to make. Good to chat with you, Stacey.
Thank you.
On your Stace.
Thank you.
All right, let's check traffic.
Calm the pair. and Ken,
and calm.
naughty.
I think calm the pair.
Keep
CALM.
Calm the pair.
Calm, Ken.
Calm the pair.
Calm the
Yes.
pair. Just
Good
chill,
on you,
everyone. Breathe through it. We can do this.
yeah.
Just breathe.
Let your footy do the talking.
All right, let's check traffic. The Monopoly game is back at Macca's. Download the My Macca's app to Peel Scan and play. It ends October 22.
Thanks, Will. She is looking peachy on the roads today. We're accident breakdown free, so a good start for a Monday. Getting busy in a couple of spots already. However, Grand Junction Road at Enfield, a little bit sluggish. Park Terrace at North Adelaide and slow right now South Road at Karata Park. Works at Jeps Cross to look out for. Grand Junction Road near Devon Street with cameras at Delphi Terrace, Glenelg North and May Terrace at Brooklyn Park. Ready to set sail on your next holiday? Flight Centre's cruise sailors docked with savings of up to $7,000. Fly free offers, onboard credits and more. Book now at Flight Centre. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Breaking news from Yes, your energy saving solutions. Thanks to mid-year updates to the SA Government's REPS initiative, you can qualify for a new air conditioner at our lowest price ever. Yes now offers eligible concession households a fully installed 2.6 kilowatt Rinnai system from only $299. Enjoy comfort all year round and join over 60,000 Adelaide homes that have said yes to lowering their energy bills. For terms and conditions on this limited offer from your energy saving solutions, visit yess.net.au.
Thank you, South Australia. The Hospital Research Foundation Home Lottery has sold out early again. You can be proud that you're having a life-changing impact right now on the health of all South Australians. Someone's about to win the $3.9 million Scott Salisbury Grand Prize. Didn't get your ticket? Become a member today and never miss out again. homelottery.com.au.
Licence in 14585.
Now, I'm sure you'll know what a swear jar is. In some homes it's fuller than others, but here's a swear jar full of goodness. Not penance for swearing, it's the swear jar at Bi-Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, full of pledges and promises from the whole team at Bi-Urban of things that they swear to do for you.
And here's one from the Bi-Urban swear jar. It's from Chloe, the operations manager. Chloe is the new Jasmine who's on maternity leave at present. Chloe is a massive Crows fan and is the queen of all bathroom renovation projects. Chloe swears to ensure all trades arrive on time every time, day in and day out.
For a team that swear to deliver on quality and service, see Bi-Urban Bathrooms and Kitchens, Adelaide's home renovation experts.
I'll grab a few people I know. We'll mark out some places to go. There's no invitation, just a destination, and that's the best freedom I know. Jump in the Jayco. Jump in the Jayco. Yeah, that's the best freedom I know.
The business sector has had incredible advances in AI. One solution can show you how AI can streamline your business, introducing efficiencies you never thought possible. You'll save money and time, unlock new growth avenues, and you'll be keeping up with the rest of the business community. With AI and One Solution, you can innovate, optimize, and excel across every facet of your business. One Solution will show you how. onesolution.net.au, a Platinum Telstra partner.
FIVEAA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to FIVEAA on Facebook or YouTube. Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across MY24 range. Petrol and diesel vehicles, T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, FIVEAA Breakfast.
5 minutes to 8. Let's check in with Jade Robran, who is with the early birds, not trying to catch the worm, but trying to get a ticket to the prelim final clash between Port Adelaide and Sydney. Jade, how's the lineup looking?
It's a pretty small lineup, I have to say, guys. I'm at Ticket Tech out the front of the entertainment centre. I have Kerry, Chris and Pam, who have been here at the crack of dawn. Guys, you chose a very cold morning to get here this morning, but I love the power, passion. Kerry, what time did you get here?
Around about 6 o'clock this morning. I was thinking not going to be too many people here today, so I was right, so it's good.
You're first in line, so you're confident of getting a ticket, tick. But what about getting over there?
Yep, already booked my flights and accommodation, so yeah, looking forward to it flying out Friday morning.
Did you have to sell a kidney?
Not quite. Actually, I looked at the prices and they've come down a bit now, so Port fans, get over there.
Very interestingly here, guys, so I was talking to Kerry. At 7:35 I jumped on to Qantas, Virgin and Jetstar. Virgin at 7:35 was $736 to get on the 2:30 flight. Qantas, the most expensive, was $597. And then, Kerry, you jumped on, and what is it now?
I think it was about $297 for a 11 o'clock flight, so so much cheaper.
Dropped a lot, hasn't it? Now talk to me. Have you recovered from Friday night, and how confident are you going into this Friday night against the Swannies?
I'm glad the boys bounced back, and I was confident that they would, and so I'm super proud of them, and it was so exciting. It was edge of the seat watching the game, but it was a good close game, and I believe we can go all the way. If we bring our best this week and the following week, no problem at all.
I tell you what, they did all right, didn't they? Chris, what time did you get here this morning?
Well, we actually got here a little bit before Kerry, but we were sitting in the car waiting to see what was happening here. It's our first time.
She pipped you to the post. You're second in line, so you will get a ticket. Who's going?
Just my wife and myself.
And have you booked your flights over yet?
No, we were waiting to see if we got tickets, and apparently it might work out in our favour with the flights dropping in price.
Most definitely. And how confident are you going into Friday night?
I've been a Port Adelaide lad for a long, long time, and any game in a final, particularly 50-50, if we play like we did on Friday night, will be a very good chance.
And Chris, what did you think of Kenny's passion post-match?
Kenny, I'm a very big fan of Ken Hingley. He's righted our ship from a long, long time ago, and I have complete faith in him. I think it's been a bit overplayed.
Excellent, guys. Well, Kerry, Chris and Pam, all the very best. I hope you boys get up. If you are on a bit of a budget or you'd miss out on a flight, you can jump onto Firefly, the bus. Now, a seat there is $160. That leaves at 6:10 a.m. and you get in at 6:10 p.m, just in the nick of time. There is only 7 seats left on the bus there, guys. So go Port fans, an exciting week for them.
Yeah, well done to those fans that got up early, braved the cold to get tickets. Surely
Yeah.
they get them. That makes it. You're a guarantee if you're there physically, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm not sure if the flights are coming down to the extent that people think they are. We're going to have a bit of a look at this and break it
okay.
up, but it's unless they were wildly speculating about the what the upper end was, but it doesn't look like they're particularly cheap.
Okay, we'll have a quick look at that and come back with more information after 8 o'clock. Reminder too, by the way, not wanting to get ahead of oneself, like Jack Ginnivan did, in saying, see you in 14 days, but we do have grand final tickets. We do have AFL grand final tickets, and we're going to tell you how you can win them on 5AA Breakfast after 5AA News. It's a competition that will run for as long as it takes until someone works out where the tickets are. And that's key. It's coming up next.
Beechwood Homes, Adelaide's leading bespoke home builder, celebrates 35 years. Over that time, they've helped many hundreds of people realise their dream of building a home exactly how they envisioned it. That's the wonderful thing about building with Beechwood. There are no set plans, no set rules. It all starts with a pen, paper, and your ideas. Just like it did 35 years ago. If you can dream it, Beechwood Homes can build it. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
Imagine a learning space that inspires creativity and a connection with nature. Here at Keen Education Furniture, we can make that a reality. With locally sourced furniture, custom prints and finishes to suit your learning place, our education furniture is crafted to perfection. At Keen Education Furniture, we're dedicated to creating exceptional learning spaces. Our furniture is designed to inspire and endure. Let us help you create a learning space that inspires. Keen Education Furniture. Learn happy, get keen.
Now, SA's own Respirico Healthcare have been supporting South Aussies for 20 years. Their goal is to make a positive difference to people's lives.
This month, Respirico Healthcare are proudly opening a new branch in Kilkenny. This new branch will help stock helpful devices for sleep, respiratory and assistive technology, as well as a focus on complex assistive technology needs.
Overall, Respirico Healthcare are committed to delivering the highest standard of care and support to patients in the fields of sleep, respiratory and mobility.
Ask about their education sessions and special offers at Shop 4, 10 to 14, Regency Road, Kilkenny.
Respirico Healthcare, making a positive difference now with 6 stores across SA.
Up to the minute news for South Australia. This is 5AA News, always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny, 17 today with the 8 o'clock news. I'm Lucy Loken.
Make RAA approved windscreen repairer, Complete Windscreens, your insurer repairer of choice. Visit completewindscreens.com.au.
Police in the United States are investigating a suspected assassination attempt on Donald Trump. The former president was playing a round of golf in Florida when gunshots were heard. A man has been arrested. It's understood he'd been in nearby bushland angling a rifle, which he was forced to drop after being spotted by Secret Service officers who opened fire. Former CIA operative Bod Bayer has told the Today Show, politically motivated incidents are becoming more common.
It seems to be getting worse. You combine the internet with people who believe in wild conspiracy theories and the availability of weapons in this country. And what worries me is so many experts are predicting political violence running up to this election. 2 assassination attempts on Trump seems to bear that out.
The parents of a teenager who collapsed during a heated footy grand final on the weekend have given an update on his condition. 17-year-old Henry Now is awake and responding after initially being placed in an induced coma. He was airlifted to hospital after copping a knock to the head during the game between Angle Vale and Two Wells on Saturday. While his initial scans are positive, Henry remains in ICU. The league is carrying out an investigation into the incident as well as a brawl in the last quarter. 4 boys aged between 15 and 17 have been arrested after a home invasion and pursuit across Adelaide. About 4:30 this morning, police were called to a house in Millbank Avenue at Gillis Plains after cash and other items were nabbed. The offenders fled in a stolen Jeep station wagon, which was pursued to Darlington before being dumped. Police dogs Axe and Enzo were called in and helped round up the suspects. They're facing numerous charges, including aggravated serious criminal trespass, theft and engaging in a police pursuit. Tickets to the AFL prelim finals go on sale today. Port Adelaide members will have first crack from 9:30am before general public availability from 2:30 this afternoon. Jade Robran is at Ticketek at the Entertainment Centre with some Port fans who've been lining up this morning. Kerry says she's pumped for the game.
Around about 6 o'clock this morning. I was thinking not going to be too many people here today, so I was right, so it's good. Already booked my flights and accommodation, so looking forward to it flying out Friday morning.
One-way flights to Sydney from Adelaide on Friday start around $300. And the Coalition has edged ahead 52% to 48% in the latest opinion polls. It's raised the prospect of a potential minority government after the next election. Tasmanian Senator Jackie Lambie says she can feel cool winds of change in the air as more households feel the pinch.
Yeah, I'm a little bit concerned about it. I think Labor's a little delusional, to be honest. We're about to go into Christmas. They're going to an election next year. You're going to have all those Christmas credit card bills with whatever people can afford to buy. Then kids are going back to school and we still don't know what's going on with interest rates.
Now turning to 5AA Sport.
The 2024 Mitsubishi Triton comes with 10 years warranty, plus 3 years free servicing, only at Agostino Mitsubishi.
Here's Tom Wren.
Thank you, Lucy. Port Adelaide has some big decisions to make ahead of Friday night's preliminary final against Sydney at the SCG. Defender Ryan Burton missed last weekend's clash with a calf complaint and will be monitored, as will Todd Marshall and Charlie Dixon. While it's being reported Kane Farrell is now an outside chance to return from a hamstring injury. Let's go to motorsport. Australian Oscar Piastri has claimed his second Formula 1 Grand Prix victory in Azerbaijan.
That definitely goes down as one of my best races of my career, I think. I knew that when I was in DRS on that one lap, I knew I had to try everything to make it stick, because if I didn't, then I definitely wasn't going to win the race. So I knew I had to go for it, to hang on for so long. With very, very few mistakes. I think definitely one of my best drives.
An amazing effort. He finished ahead of Charles Leclerc and George Russell. Daniel Ricciardo finished back in 13th place. Still on motorsport, Will Brown has taken out the Sandown 500 event to extend his lead in the V8 Championship. Let's go to tennis. Australia's lost its final group stage clash in the Davis Cup against Spain, but they've still qualified for the finals, which will be held later this year. Meantime, Olivia Gadecki is preparing to play for her first singles title on the tennis tour in Mexico. She's the first Aussie woman to reach the final of a WTA 500 event since Ash Barty. Well, Australia's third T20 clash against England has been abandoned due to rain, ensuring the series finishes in a 1-1 draw. 2 games in the English Premier League overnight, with Arsenal beating Tottenham 1-0, while Newcastle took care of Wolverhampton 2-1. And in some golf to finish, Denmark's Rasmus Højgaard has won the Irish Open, just edging out hometown hero Rory McIlroy by a single shot. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Tom. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Speak to the Adelaide Convention Centre and let them elevate your vision for your next event or function.
Looking pretty peachy for the run-in today. We're accident breakdown free. Busy in the normal spots this morning. Fitzroy Terrace at North Adelaide, also South Road at Mile End, quite busy. Slow going. Green Hill Road at the Unley Road intersection. Look out for works today at Wingfield. It's on the Salisbury Highway, the Wingfield interchange. Cameras this morning. Beavich Road, Angle Farm, and North East Road at St Agnes. Are your tyres electric? Hankook Ion, designed especially for electric cars and SUVs. You could say it's an evolution. Hankook Ion, the official partner of Formula E. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automaster's technician.
Mostly sunny, 17 today. Mostly sunny, 19 tomorrow. Sunny and 22 on Wednesday. A shower or two, 17 on Thursday. Right now it's 9.5. More news as it happens on 5AA.
If you're packing up your family to travel across the land will treat you different in a Dave Benson caravan. There's never any roadworks when you're driving Aussie made, and you'll always find a park that's nestled safely in the shade. The magpies will stop swooping, the kangaroos give way. You won't see a single mosquito at the end of each perfect day. And if the coppers pull you over, they won't wreck your plans when you tell them you bought Aussie made from Dave Benson Caravans.
In Adelaide and across South Australia, this is 5AA, always Adelaide.
Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across MY24 range, petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
Eight minutes after 8, breaking 8 coming up in just a moment. Most importantly, though, you want to go to the AFL Grand Final. You want your tickets, you want your flights. We're going to talk about flights in a moment. And accommodation all paid for. Well, we've got you covered. The 5AA Breakfast AFL Grand Final ticket giveaway competition is back. And we're going to reveal how you can win and give you your first chance at guessing the answer on the other side of breaking at 8. If you run a cafe or something in the vicinity of Santos this morning, you might be wanting to be aware of the fact that Extinction Rebellion are meeting up with some cavalcade that's on their way from Western Australia. They're going to meet at the Santos headquarters at 11 a.m. before...
That poor cafe.
Yeah.
This happens every week.
Yep.
And you know, the sort
it's
of...
a good cafe too.
It's a great cafe. We've had the owner on. We might have another chat to him this week. But, you know, getting under the grill of people who work at Santos, but choosing to do it in the venue of that cafe, it means that people go, on Monday... They've been trained to keep away from the cafe.
Mm.
And, you know, the sort of misty-eyed, sort of half-witted response from Extinction Rebellion people is, well, if you think it's inconvenient for the cafe, wait until the planet explodes. Well, it's impossible to have any sort of logical reasoning with people like that. Because the greater issue in their minds is the imminent destruction of the planet, which means the cafe owner just has to suck it up.
Every time I see one of their, you know, and there was one of these at the Land Forces Expo too, the street theatre, you know, their art pieces where they all dance around to music.
Oh,
I actually start thinking maybe it is time for the planet to explode. It's time for breaking it out.
Well, contrary to what those Port fans were just saying to Jade, talking about things that are exploding, the price of tickets to Sydney this weekend has actually exploded in the last half hour. Now, we've been monitoring the Qantas website. Half an hour ago, we'll just look at 3 flights on Friday morning, 6 a.m, 6:30 and 9 o'clock. So half an hour ago, the first of those flights, QF 730, was 597 one way to Sydney. The second flight, QF 732, was 674. And the third flight, the 9 a.m. flight that gets you in at 11:20, flight QF 736, that was 794. Now, in the last 20 minutes, the first of those flights has gone from $597 to $674 one way. The second of those flights remains at $674. But the third flight, which was already a very hefty $794, if you want to catch that flight to Sydney, the 9 a.m. flight to Sydney this Friday with Qantas, it's now $949 one way.
Wow.
Now, the pattern appears to be similar over at Virgin. The flight this Friday afternoon, the 2:30 flight that gets you in at 4:50, that starts at $736. But, you know, the people who are thinking prices have come down should actually check this more carefully. Because it looks like now that people are piling on...
People wake up this morning and think, I'm going to book some flights.
Yeah. Qantas has worked it out, and they are all over it, and they're cashing in. So,
do you think there's a person that works it out, or do you think it's some AI algorithm that says once X number of people book a flight, it goes up by 5%, and then it goes up by 10 and then 15. Do you reckon it's automated, or do you reckon someone is actually physically doing it?
I don't know.
I mean, it doesn't matter at the end of the day because it all achieves the same thing. But I do wonder if what we're seeing with it going up right now is that there's some software program that's doing it.
Well, whatever the case, it's going to cost Port fans a hell of a lot. So they'd better be careful. And I don't know if it's a question of get on now because they're going to disappear. But it does seem to be capitalising on the knowledge that people do pretty much anything to get to the game, and by anything we mean spend close to $2,000 to get there.
Let's take some calls on this. Robbie and Marion's on the line. Morning, Robbie.
Good morning, boys. Yeah, my brother and his wife are Sydney Swan supporters. They got tickets. They rang yesterday, and I'm pretty sure this is outrageous. It was $1,000 one way, and it was $2,000 return per person, which would have cost them $4,000 just for their airfare.
Wow, could go to Europe for that.
So that's exactly what my brother said. So the tickets are gone. They've given them to somebody else. They're not going in Sydney.
Oh, wow.
They're not paying $4,000. It's just outrageous. Just completely greedy people.
Yeah, totally.
Thank you.
Thank you, Robbie. Appreciate your call. Let's go to Mary Louise. Good morning.
Oh, good morning. I just wanted to make a comment about people outside of football that are being affected by this. My daughter works in the arts and has been called to an audition in Sydney and is given only a couple of days' notice, and it's almost prohibitive that it's actually her job. So it's not just about people trying to get there for football, it's affecting everyone.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, people are probably trying to head over there for, a wedding or something. I mean, imagine if you were having a wedding there this weekend.
Yeah, well, you had to fly for an urgent reason that what you couldn't plan for in advance, like there was a funeral or
that's right.
All sorts of things.
The Transport Minister, Tom Koutsantonis, is on the line. We're going to have a chat to the Minister now. Coots, good morning. What do you make of all this, both as the Minister for Transport but also as a mad Port supporter?
I used to think in the old days when airlines were fully booked, flights were cheaper because their planes were at maximum capacity. I'm not sure how it is now that they can justify these massive increases when their planes are full. I mean, when planes aren't full, you get it. Prices are more expensive because they're carrying less people for the same amount of fuel and the same amount of staff. But when they're full, they're making more money.
Yeah, correct.
This is just wrong. It's immoral.
Is it illegal in any way? Like, is it an ACCC thing, or is that we don't sort of have laws that intervene to that level?
I'm sure the ACCC could start an investigation, and in about 5.5 years we'd find out the outcome of it. And by then we could look back and say, well, next time Port makes a grand final, we'll sort it out. But we don't have time.
Hey, while we've got you, Minister, we've had a few full and frank exchanges together over the years. What did you make of Hinkley and the fact that he's been fined?
Oh, mate, it was just a tickle, wasn't it? I mean, just $20,000 for a bit of banter. I mean, let's not forget this sport is entertainment, and I got to say, I like seeing my coach fire up every now and then. I mean, I don't remember coaches being fined for smashing up the coach's box.
Yeah,
I just think this is a bit much. Remember Neil Curley, what he used to do in that rage cage at Richmond?
Yeah,
I mean, he'd be bankrupt if the AFL was in charge.
David Parker would get disciplined for being cruel to telephone handsets.
Oh, it's just a bit much. I don't know, but I just hope it's not a distraction for the lads.
Well, I hope the feds are paying attention to what's going on with the airlines, because something should be done about this. It is unconscionable conduct.
It is, and look, there's a basic economic model here, right? The more bums on seats, the more money they make. I'm not sure how they justify the price increases when before Port were in the semi for Sydney, they qualified the prelim final for Sydney, how these prices were cheaper and now that they're more expensive. It just doesn't make any economic sense. Nothing's happened between Saturday morning and Saturday night other than Port winning a game.
Yeah, correct.
I've got to say that does reek, and it's very unfair on all the punters. This might be their biggest expenditure this year to go see their team played after they've waited 2 decades.
Yeah, well, it's certainly going to be now. Tom Koutsantonis, Minister for Transport, thanks for that.
Stacey's point, I think, is the best one. If you want, for an industry, certainly in Australia, that is desperate for good publicity, just an own goal. Like it's probably within your rights as a business to charge whatever the hell you want, but
Stacey's right. The missed opportunity is the marketing.
That's
one.
right. It's
funny. I mean, we can roll out 4 specially painted aeroplanes for a referendum. Why not do it for a football game? It might actually be more of a unifying moment.
There's a lot to unpack with the decision-making process around both those things. 17 after 8. There's one thing you won't have to worry about if you win our AFL Grand Final ticket competition, and that's what your airfares cost. You won't need to worry about what your hotel room costs either, nor where your tickets are and how long you're going to have to line up to get them, because we have them all right here. It's all ready to go. Our AFL Grand Final ticket competition. Shall we launch it?
Let's do it.
Shall we do it?
Let's do it.
Yeah, we raised 4 corners of the globe for the Holy Grail.
So as always, it requires a little bit of skill, this competition. The first person to guess correctly, heading to Melbourne with a friend, flights and accommodation included. Watch the game from the exclusive September Club. How about that? Sounds like a sordid 70s sort of nightclub, but it's not. It's where you'll be watching the AFL Grand Final from. AFL authorised GF comp promotion, GF AFL 24/156. Now, here's how it's going to work. We need you to tell us which footy oval your tickets are hidden at. They're hidden at a footy oval.
A footy oval.
They're hidden at a footy oval.
Presumably in Australia.
Well, every day we'll give you clues. What's your favourite Australian rules football oval outside of Australia? Croke Park in Dublin?
Yeah, Croke Park. There's one in South Africa.
Yeah?
One in Johannesburg.
Well, here's a clue. Here's clue number 1, an AFL Grand Final ticket competition for 2024. Clue number 1. Now, I'd write all these down, by the way, because if we get to 8 days in, you start. It behooves you to have the old information.
You love that word, behooves.
I love behooves.
I think it's something to do with horses.
No, they have 4 hooves. Now, clue number 1, this oval is located in metropolitan Adelaide and is more than 55 years old. There's 2 clues there. Metropolitan Adelaide and more than 55 years old.
See, this sounds easy, but it's not.
Get calling now if you want to go to the GF. Tell us which oval you think the Grand Final tickets are hidden at. 8223 0055. First guest, first chance to win is here, and now you're going to hear it after the break. Traffic first, thanks to the Monopoly game at Macca's. Download the My Macca's app to peel, scan and play. Ends October 22.
Thanks, Will. Busy in a few spots this morning, including Grand Junction Road at Enfield. Also slow, Fitzroy Terrace at North Adelaide. Getting busy south road at Thibets in both directions. And look out for those works at Paynham today. It's on Portrush Road near Rosella Street. Speeds at 40, always really slow. Cameras, Henley Beach Road, Henley Beach and Bulldog Road at Engle Farm. Ready to set sail on your next holiday? Flight Centre's cruise sailors docked with savings of up to $7,000. Fly free offers, onboard credits and more. Book now at Flight Centre. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
The 5AA Sports Show. Stephen Rowe and Tim Jennifer.
We've turned up. You confident Port will?
Yeah, well, they have to. I think they have to. I can't be confident in that after last week because it does rob you of your faith and your confidence in them. But, we want to see 100% full-on contest. In you go. Make it happen.
See, I'm confident they'll do that.
The 5AA Sports Show.
I think they'll respond. I'm not confident they'll win.
Weekdays from 4 p.m. on 5AA. Always Adelaide.
If you need to fix your pipes, call Precise. Call Precise. If your toilet's blocking up, call Precise. Call Precise. If your lights aren't turning on, or your hot water is gone, or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Precise.
Precise Plumbing and Electrical. Call 1300 700 200. That's 1300 700 200. Precise Plumbing and Electrical. On time, on budget, on the job.
Or a plumber or an electrician, call Precise. Call Precise.
I have a riddle for you. What do you call someone who enjoys a delicious meal of fish and chips, a beef schnitty burger, or a chicken wrap for just $15 with a stunning view of Port River at the Lighthouse Wharf Hotel during the week? Smart. Head into the Lighthouse Wharf Hotel any day of the week and grab a $15 lunch special. Also, if you're looking for a stellar function space, Lighthouse Wharf Hotel does that too. You just know it's a Barreau hotel.
Yeah, how good is having a mate with a ute or van? They're the ones you need to look after, but they can't promise to always have them when you need them.
Well, that's where Avis Truck Rental Adelaide is the best mate you can have. Now, these guys are great. I've used them several times. When you call Avis Truck Rental Adelaide, you don't get a computer. You get Matt, 18 years in the industry. He's just the world's nicest bloke. He runs the depot. He knows exactly what vehicles are available. I've rung him once, and I was there within an hour in the car, happily heading towards the Thebarton dump. It was terrific, and he's more than happy to discuss the right vehicle that will suit your needs.
Whether you're moving house, picking up something from Bunnings or planning a family road trip, Avis Trucks Adelaide has you covered. Just ask for the FIVEAA fixed price. Trust your mate Matthew at Avis Truck Rental Adelaide. Open 7 days at 416 Port Road, West Hindmarsh. Book online at avis.com.au or call 8241 5200.
It's a frightening thought, but what if you lost the capacity to manage your financial affairs? If you're not at the helm, who makes medical or health decisions? Who controls the family trust? From the simplest to the most complex wills and estate plans, Donlan Lawyers will answer your questions and help carry out your wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com. That's donlanlawyers.com. Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide, and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour.
When you buy Fluorio Milk Company milk, you're pretty much buying direct from the farmer. We bottle it and send it straight to the supermarket. We deliver it ourselves too. It means we can give SA dairy farmers the best possible price per litre. So when you buy Fluorio milk, you're supporting SA dairy farmers and their families. Plus, your money stays here in SA. And in these times, that's good for all of us. Look for the local in your supermarket. Fluorio Milk Company. We're for SA dairy farmers.
Give your mouth a little harmony with Henry Bloom's Probiotic Mouthwash. Formulated with Dentalac, a probiotic strain that harmonises the delicate pH of your mouth and promotes beneficial bacteria. Available at all major pharmacies.
Always read the label and follow directions for use.
Rosanna Mangiarelli here from 7 News. Join me and Will Goodings for Adelaide's leading news hour, 7 News, tonight at 6 o'clock.
Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across MY24 range. Petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
Yeah, we raised 4 corners of the globe for the Holy Grail.
We've got AFL Grand Final tickets, accommodation and flights that we're giving away to someone who listens on 5AA Breakfast and someone who's good at piecing together clues, because the tickets are hidden at an oval that we now know is in metropolitan Adelaide and is older than 55 years. It's been around for more than 55 years. I think that's a lot of ovals. Roger in Largs North, though, is the first caller through and therefore is our first real guess in this year's AFL Grand Final tickets comp. Roger, good morning to you.
Morning, guys.
All right, Roger, so you've got one clue. What oval did it immediately make you think of?
Well, Alberton's a logical choice.
You're a Port man?
Yeah. Always have been.
Ticks both those boxes. You're very early in the piece, though, mate. This is the hardest day to guess. So good luck.
Thank you.
Sorry, Roger, it is not Alberton Oval.
So it can be any oval.
Any oval.
Any oval.
Any oval. Any oval.
Pretty much every suburb's got one.
There's a lot. So Metropolitan, older than 55 years. So it's not something that's just been knocked up in the last 6 months.
Yeah, okay.
So it'll have some pedigree. It's got some history to it. We'll have another clue tomorrow. This is good because this gets all the people who know local footy, travelled around a bit, kids footy. You know, there's people that have spent their lives driving around to suburban ovals. Puts you right in the box seat, I reckon, for this one this morning.
I was hoping it was going to be Penneshaw Oval, but that's clearly not Metropolitan Adelaide. I love that oval.
That is a great oval.
It's just the wildest setting.
It is great.
So pretty.
We will have another clue tomorrow and another chance to win grand final tickets, flights and accommodation tomorrow, so make sure you're listening. The clue can pop up at any time between 6 9. Now, a little bit earlier this morning, in fact, just after 6:30, the Secret Service, the FBI and local law enforcement held a press conference in the US following reports that there had been another assassination attempt on the life of former US President Donald Trump. What we learned over the course of that press conference was, in fact, someone had arrived at the Trump International Golf Course armed with what they describe it as an AK-47-like rifle with a scope, 2 backpacks. They were intercepted, as you're about to hear, by Secret Service agents and departed the scene before being picked up a little bit later. Here is what we learnt from David Woywood from 7 News over in the United States shortly after that press conference.
Now being treated as a second assassination attempt on the former President Donald Trump. He had been playing golf at his Trump International Golf Course in Florida, down at West Palm Beach, of course, where he lives. He had been between holes 5 and 6 at the time. He had that travelling Secret Service guard with him when one of those agents had actually detected the barrel of an AK-47 style weapon actually poking through the bushes from the perimeter of one of the holes that he was about to play. Now, we understand that the agents have then engaged that person. They have fired some shots. That person has given chase. They have got into a car. Quite luckily, a witness has seen it all unfold, and they have taken a photo of that person and that vehicle, and police were able to lock down the entire area, all the freeways and roads surrounding that golf course, and that person has now been apprehended and they are in custody. Now, in the meantime, Donald Trump, he was put into a golf cart. He was whisked back to the clubhouse. The entire clubhouse was put into lockdown. He'd been playing with a number of allies and key donors to his campaign. In the past few moments, in fact, we've also seen the Trump motorcade make its way back to Mar-a-Lago, where he lives, and that's a very short drive away. Now, at that site where the agents actually engaged this person, a man, they have found a scope that actually fitted on the front of this AK-style weapon. We are told they have found a number of backpacks, 2 backpacks, and a GoPro as well. So we don't know the exact motivation or what the intention was of this person, although it is being treated as an assassination attempt. And the FBI is now taking the lead on that, and they have that person, and they are questioning him right now.
That person being in custody and being quizzed means we should learn more about it, you would imagine, sooner rather than later, unlike the Pennsylvania shooting, in which the shooter himself was killed, and it was it's taken an age to try and piece together motive and so forth. In fact, it's still
a mystery.
It's still a mystery. Now, the Prime Minister here in Australia, Anthony Albanese, has just spoken as well. He was asked about the Trump assassination attempt. Let's have a listen to what he just said.
Everyone wants the democratic process to be peaceful and to be orderly. This incident in the United States is of concern again. It is good that President Trump has said that he is safe and that the incident, the details of which are still coming out, so it's not quite clear all of those details. But what is clear is that President Trump is safe. That is a good thing.
A few texts on the issue. So a few people have said, well, if no shots were fired, how can it be an assassination attempt? Well, it's just the language that the US Secret Service are using and the FBI. They're saying it. I mean, I don't think it's a necessarily important distinction to make.
Splitting hairs, isn't it? Like
if you roll up with
if you're playing golf and there's someone with an AK-47 who's endeavouring to shoot you, that's the plan.
Yeah, I think that counts, doesn't it?
Bad day on the course.
Yeah, I would have thought.
Yeah. 5AA
News is coming up back in a moment.
City Discount Tires.
Get saving this month at City Discount Tires. Grab 3 Falcon Zeek ZE 310R passenger car tires and get the 4th tyre absolutely free. Experience top-notch performance with exceptional grip on both wet and dry surfaces. Steer your way to citydiscounttires.com.au for even more great deals. City Discount Tires. We're driven by value.
City Discount Tires.
5AA Breakfast is streaming live right now. To watch, simply head to 5AA on Facebook or YouTube.
This is 5AA News. Always Adelaide.
Mostly sunny, 17 today with the 8:30 news. I'm Lucy Loken.
Chipped windscreen? RAA approved repairer Complete Windscreens repairs it from just $99. Find the big red koala.
The FBI is investigating a potential second attempt to assassinate Donald Trump. It happened while the former president was playing golf with a number of key donors at his Florida golf course. 7 News US Bureau Chief David Woywood says a Secret Service agent spotted a gun barrel poking through the bushes and gave chase before the suspect fled in a car.
Luckily, a witness has seen it all unfold, and they have taken a photo of that person and that vehicle, and police were able to lock down the entire area, all the freeways and roads surrounding that golf course, and that person has now been apprehended and they are in custody. Now, in the meantime, Donald Trump, he was put into a golf cart. He was whisked back to the clubhouse. The entire clubhouse was put into lockdown.
The suspect has since been named. It's a 58-year-old man called Ryan Wesley Routh. Meanwhile, our own Prime Minister has weighed in. Anthony Albanese says the incident is concerning and that he's pleased Donald Trump is safe.
Everyone wants the democratic process to be peaceful and to be orderly. And it's not quite clear all of those details, but what is clear is that President Trump is safe. That is a good thing.
A woman's been caught drink driving at Lyndoch this morning. Senior Constable Matt Brown told 5AA she was spotted swerving all over Jollytown Road just after 1am.
She underwent a breath test which returned a positive reading of 0.184, which is nearly 3 times the legal limit. And further checks revealed the driver was driving without a licence. So the 32-year-old woman from Lyndoch was reported for drink driving and driving unlicensed. She was issued a further 12-month immediate loss of licence notice. Her car was impounded for 28 days, so she'll receive a summons to appear in court at a later date.
Meanwhile, 3 drink drivers have also been pinged in Hackham at a static testing site. In a half-hour period yesterday afternoon, the 3 drivers were caught separately. 2 of them were issued expiation notices. The third offender, a 34-year-old woman from Huntfield Heights, recorded a reading of 0.109. She was reported for drink driving, issued with a 6-month instant loss of licence, and her vehicle was impounded. The federal government is working on a new scheme to help Australians get their foot on the property ladder. The Help to Buy scheme, which is currently being reviewed by the Senate, aims to accelerate home ownership by covering up to 40% of a buyer's deposit. This means eligible Australians would only need to come up with a 2% deposit themselves. In his same press conference talking about President Trump, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese talked about housing. He says the initiative is an overdue step towards making home ownership more accessible for everyone.
This is about supporting home ownership in this country, and it's something that should frankly have sailed through the Parliament before now.
And the Prince and Princess of Wales have publicly wished Prince Harry a happy birthday. It's the first time the royal couple have done so in 3 years. A post reshared from the royal family on X was captioned, wishing the Duke of Sussex a very happy 40th birthday. Now turning to 5AA Sport.
The 2024 Mitsubishi Triton comes with 10 years warranty, plus 3 years free servicing, only at Agostino Mitsubishi.
Morning, Tom Wren.
And a good morning to you as well, Lucy. Port Adelaide's players will be back at Alberton today as they look ahead to Friday night's prelim final against Sydney at the SCG. Todd Marshall was subbed out of the game against the Hawks, but is hoped to be available along with Charlie Dixon, who's also expected to be fit after he was a late withdrawal because of illness. Well, Australian Oscar Piastri has claimed his second Formula One Grand Prix victory after the Azerbaijan Grand Prix ended in a chaotic crash. Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz ending up in the wall on the second-to-last lap.
What the is he did, man? What the is he crazy or what? Idiot.
Yeah, not happy. Piastri winning, though, ahead of Charles Leclerc and George Russell. Daniel Ricciardo finished back in 13th place. Let's go to soccer, and Arsenal's beaten fierce rivals Tottenham and put increasing pressure on Ange Postecoglou. That's after a 1-0 win in the North London derby this morning. Meantime, Newcastle has come from a goal down to beat Wolverhampton 2-1. The winner in the 80th minute, an absolute peach.
Harvey Barnes, great effort! Fantastic goal from Harvey Barnes!
Yeah, that was a stunner. That audio thanks to Optus and good enough to secure the 3 points. And in some tennis to finish, Australia's finished second in its group stage at the Davis Cup after a 2-1 loss to Spain. And that's the 5AA Sport.
Thank you, Tommy. Now checking 5AA traffic.
Speak to the Adelaide Convention Centre and let them elevate your vision for your next event or function.
At Clemsey, got a 2-car smash, North East Road near OG, road delays inbound. North Adelaide, works at Park Terrace near Hawker Street. bit slow at Elizabeth Vale for works. John Rice Avenue near Haydown Road speeds at 40, and sluggish as we speak at Payneham, Port Rice Road near Rosella Street for works. Cameras Wandana Avenue, Gillis Plains and May Terrace at Brooklyn Park. The 7-seat Isuzu MUX has room for all of life's moments, no matter how big or small. Visit your local Isuzu Ute dealer today to discover the range. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Now the 5AA forecast.
See any issue firsthand with AutoCam. Real-time video, direct to you from your Automasters technician.
Mostly sunny, 17 today. Mostly sunny, 19 tomorrow. Sunny, 22 for Wednesday. And a shower or two on Thursday, 17. Right now it's 10.2. More news as it happens on 5AA.
Steinborner Hyundai has always been well worth a trip, and now there's another great reason to visit. Hyundai's full range of hybrids. Steinborner Hyundai has a hybrid to suit every driver, from the hybrid i30, the Kona, the Tucson, as well as the all-new Santa Fe hybrid family-sized SUV. Experience the difference at Steinborner Barossa and Clare, with outstanding service and a great range of vehicles. And you'll see why. Steinborner Hyundai is well worth the trip. Steinborner.com.au.
When the mornings start getting warmer and the sun rises a little bit earlier, the dream you let lie dormant over winter wakes. It's time to start with Olympic Industries Spring Sale. Huge savings on locally engineered verandas, carports, garages, tool sheds and more. Start building your dream now. And one day you'll look back at where it all started, in your own backyard, with Olympic Industries Spring Sale on now.
If you love your home but you've never been in love with your kitchen, the answer is not far away.
Nope, it's just 15 minutes up the freeway, in fact, because that's where you'll find Balhanna Kitchens by Design. Now, it boasts the largest kitchen design showroom in the Adelaide Hills, plus it's a family business with 35 years' experience, so they care about taking care of you.
And their expertise goes further than kitchens. They can create laundries, linen cupboards, robes and vanities, plus all cabinet installations are backed by a 10-year warranty.
Balhanna Kitchens by Design, it's not too far to go to make your dream kitchen a reality. See more at their website, balhannakitchens.com.au.
Gone are the days of bulky solar panels. NRG Solar is ushering in a new era of sleek, efficient solar technology. With just a few panels, harness the power of the sun like never before. The equation is simple. More efficiency, more savings. Join the revolution with NRG Solar. Discover simplicity at 1275 South Road St Mary's or online at nrgsolar.com.au. NRG Solar, for a brighter, more sustainable tomorrow.
Hey guys, did you know that at Austrac Campers, for as little as $18,990, we can get you out there and everywhere. So come on guys, stop dreaming and start planning.
Austrac Campers.
It all started with a pen and paper 35 years ago. Lots of ideas and a ton of innovation. Nothing's changed. Beechwood Homes is still building stunning bespoke homes right across South Australia. Under construction right now is another Beechwood Homes masterpiece at Blackwood Park. This new display home will showcase Beechwood's dedication to cutting-edge design, craftsmanship and innovation. If you can dream it, Beechwood Homes can build it. Life's good. It's even better in a Beechwood home.
Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across MY24 range. Petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings, 5AA Breakfast.
20 minutes to 9. A few people have texted in following that little snippet we played from the Prime Minister, who spoke a moment ago about this second assassination attempt on Donald Trump. Why he was referred to as president, saying, well, did he get it wrong? Is he preempting the outcome of the November election? But
is he a January 6 guy?
Is he a January? Does he think the election was stolen?
That's right.
I think that's unlikely. It's custom in the US that former presidents they call them president.
You'd say President Bush.
Would say
President Obama.
President Obama.
Yeah,
it's your highest last title generally is what you get. That you end up keeping.
Yeah, you never have it taken off you.
It's why I suspect it's a similar, very American vein of thinking where once you're a coach of anything, you're referred to as coach your whole life.
Yeah, yeah.
It's your highest title. You get, as a sort of a tribute to the work you've done, you always get to keep. And when you don't do it any longer. So I think
you hear it all the time, Coach Payton.
Yeah.
It's used as an honorific.
Exactly right. Even though the person doesn't coach anymore or hasn't coached maybe for 50 years. It'd be, what do you think of that play, coach?
I like it. Does it count if you coach Grange Primary School?
I think so, Coach.
Thank you. The Lightning Carnival.
They're the highest achievement.
Doesn't get any bigger than that.
Grange football, they're still talking about it.
They
in
are.
Grange. At the Grange Hotel, they're still whispering about it.
I'm still talking
People
about
have got the tattoos and everything. It's
That's
unbelievable.
right.
19 to 9.
Listening.
We wish it was, achievements like that we were talking about in the footy segment this morning. Unfortunately, although it's a situation that played out on the weekend that could have been much, much worse. We're talking about Henry Now, who was playing in a game between Two Wells and Anglevale at Hamley Bridge on the weekend, and as a result of an incident in that game, he ended up being put in an induced coma. Now, when the first reports came through, I think everyone feared the worst. We've had some awful and tragic situations in Adelaide, in South Australia in recent years. This one, though, is looking better, fingers still crossed, but we have been in contact this morning with Henry's father, Gary, who sent us this message. He said, Henry is awake and responding. He's far away from his usual self yet, but we are hopeful. While his initial scans were positive, he's not yet had an MRI. Secondly, I believe that while this is an ongoing investigation, they'll keep quiet. There's no need to put fuel on the fire. There is footage of the incident, and I'd like to see that for myself. The second-hand interpretation we've been given does not line up with the recollection Henry has, and he remembers clearly what happened until he got off the field after the incident. We want to see ourselves the play to either put our minds at ease or to discuss what our next steps will look like. At this stage, Henry's health and recovery are our priority. And Gary said he would happily chat with us once they have more information, but you appreciate at this point in time him putting his son's health first.
We're joined now by Simon Sally, who is the president of the Anglevale Football and Netball Club, and we've also got Michael Vigor, who's the president of the Adelaide Plains League, on the line too. We'll start with Simon. That's good news about Henry's condition by the sounds of things, Simon. Does that gel with what you heard from the family as well?
Yeah, morning, gents. It is good news. I hadn't seen that statement yet, but yeah, we did speak yesterday. It's obviously a complex medical condition, but yeah, it looks like he's on the path to some sort of recovery, which is great.
Yeah. Well, fingers crossed it continues that way. So, Simon, hard to always work out what's gone on with something like this because, invariably two sides that are competing often have different takes on it. But was there much feeling in the game, or was the injury that Henry sustained, Simon, sort of separate from any of the violence that was unfolding?
Well, they're arch rivals, so it's a physical game. We've had physical games with them in the past. That incident was separate from the violence that broke out later, but no doubt fueled the day, really, like that was earlier in the day when Henry was hit. We haven't been given the footage. I'm not sure if we're allowed to have the footage, so we can't exactly ascertain the hit. No one seems to have been able to see it. There's plenty of different stories. Henry's obviously got a recollection, which is good. But yeah.
And what's the status of whether the police are looking at it or not? Did the police get given the footage to go through it, or how does that work?
Probably a question for Michael, but I believe the police have spoken to the family and the league. So yeah, they're onto it, I believe.
Yeah. Well, as you said, we've got Michael on the line. Michael Vigor is the president of the Adelaide Plains League, and we'll ask that question to him. Michael, thanks for joining us too, mate. Have you had any feedback from police about what their assessment of all this is?
So yes, thank you for the opportunity. Obviously, our thoughts in the main are with the player who's recovering in hospital still, and our thoughts are really with his parents and family, and hope for a full recovery. So just wanted to make that
sure.
point right at the outset.
Yeah.
The police did request vision, and that was supplied to them, and I think they did that sort of third party. There was no direct contact with us as such. It was through the people who filmed the event, and of course that was given to them straight away. The police, as I understand it, did go to the hospital, but I don't know if they've had a chance to interview the player yet. But in the paper this morning, it did say that they had reached some conclusion. So far be it from me to I suppose discuss those outcomes. I don't think they're pursuing anything, but it could be. So, from the league's perspective, it was one of those incidents you just don't want to see. I mean, the sight of a helicopter sitting on an oval in front of 3,500+ people is quite confronting, and for everyone concerned, spectators and the like, it was a long period of time for the delay to occur, nearly an hour of that sort of action happening in front of everyone, and of course everyone's thoughts would have been with that player Henry who was airlifted to the RAH. So after that incident, the whole day sort of was hard to really come to grips with. But the incident itself occurred sort of very late in the first quarter, and I have actually seen the footage, and it wasn't a king hit as some have described. It was an act that was often used in football to spoil a ball, and that obviously collided with Henry and caused the injury that we've all seen the outcome of.
So it was an attempted spoil, like with a fist?
Attempted spoil, yeah. That'll all come to pass. Sandful have also been highly involved because of the public nature of this. I think they'll be making some statements during the day as well. The game, obviously, with things like that happening early in the game, the heat in it did obviously increase, and there was a melee very late in the game, within a minute or two of the siren that broke out, and the umpires immediately were issuing yellows and reds and sending players off, and as they should, and there have been a number of reports out of that, which will be obviously investigated and actioned in the coming days. So currently the investigation into the whole incident and the game and everything else is still underway, and there will be sanctions as a result of some of the incidents that did occur.
So is that rivalry between Two Wells and Angle Vale, do you think, has it gone a little bit too far?
Well, I think that obviously they've played off in at least 5, may even be 6 grand finals in recent years. They obviously have developed quite a strong rivalry as a result of that. It was played tough. Both sides played the game hard. Probably, harder than you might normally see under 17s play a game. So there's definitely some heat out there. And the umpires did, issue yellow cards to cool things down, etc., and do all the things that they should do. Just at the end there, with all of the, the spectator involvement from the sidelines and everything else, that melee broke out sort of right in front of a couple of groups of spectators, and probably wasn't helped by all of that yelling and
like
carry on.
Everyone's revving each other up. You can relate to that. Michael Vigor, Adelaide Plains League President, and Simon Selly, the Angle Vale Football and Netball Club's President. Thanks for joining us, and as both men said, it's the most important thing here is the welfare of Henry, and hopefully we'll be able to speak to his dad over the coming days, and hopefully his son continues to make a good recovery.
Absolutely. All right. A car's crashed into a Stobie pole at the intersection of Kyle Street and Greenhill Road near the Burnside Village. There are emergency crews on the scene. Let's have a broader look at traffic too now, thanks to the Monopoly game at Macca's. Download the My Macca's app to peel, scan and play. Ends October 22.
Two-car smash at Clenjig to look out for. Northeast Road near OG Road with delays inbound. Glenside, car Hazel to Stobie Pole. Greenhill Road just after Port Rice Road as you're heading into the city. Slow for works at Prospect. Main North Road near Penn Place. And busy at Unley. Greenhill Road near Unley Road. Cameras, Baldock Road, Eagle Farm and Darley Road at Paradise. Don't miss the head-turning new Ford Ranger Black Edition starting from just $57,990 drive away. Recommended price at participating dealers while stocks last. Adelaide's most accurate traffic on 5AA.
Next time you pour Fluorio milk into your coffee or tea, over your cereal or in your smoothie, you're closer to being an SA dairy farmer than you think. 100% of Fluorio Co milk comes from our state's best dairy farmers and their families. So when you buy any Fluorio milk product, you become part of that big family too, doing your bit to support our farming families. Look for the local in your supermarket. Fluorio Milk Company. We're for SA dairy farmers.
I'm high! The Excelsior Hotel has always felt like home, with meals from just $12, like soup from $12 with garlic bread, half beef or chicken schnitzels, $16, sweet and sour pork with rice, $16, bangers and mash, $18, 1 or 2 piece fish and chips from $16, and 250 gram porterhouse, $22. Gotta love the Excelsior Hotel lunchtime menu. Feels like coming home, but better. You just know it's a bro hotel.
Now, you don't just do a good barbie, you are the Tong Master. You're not just flipping snags, you've earned the title of Backyard Hospitality Director. So, you deserve the very best outdoor kitchen from Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens.
Now you can choose from the best appliances, add a bar fridge or a pizza oven, or stun your guests with one of their custom-made concrete bench tops. Now they also do indoor concrete bench tops. These bench tops can really update any kitchen space. They're all handmade, custom-made for you, every piece unique, especially for you.
Call for a consultation and quote today or visit the Seaford Meadows showroom on Farrow Circuit. The best backyard hospitality directors choose Adelaide Outdoor Kitchens. Go to adelaideoutdoorkitchens.com.au.
You can do just about anything online. Shop, meet new friends, watch reruns of your favourite TV shows or movies. But there's one thing you should never do online, and that's your will. From the simplest to the most complex wills and estate plans, Donlan Lawyers can answer your questions and help carry out your final wishes. For wills and estate planning, visit donlanlawyers.com. Hindmarsh Square, Adelaide, and Ocean Street, Victor Harbour.
The Honda mid-size SUV stock clearance is on now. Get 8 years warranty and 8 years roadside assist, plus a $1,000 Ampol fuel card on 2023 build Honda ZRV and CRVs. Visit us at Formula Honda to test drive today. Ampol fuel card offer valid until September 30. Different warranty applies for vehicles used for commercial purposes. T's and C's at honda.com.au. Hurry into Formula Honda. Find us at Glen Osmond Road, Glen Osmond, or Northeast Road, Modbury.
Head to your Hyundai dealer for run-out offers across MY24 range. Petrol and diesel vehicles. T's and C's apply.
David Penberthy and Will Goodings. 5AA Breakfast.
6 to 9, let's have a look at the fuel situation. Members save on RAA Solar, RAA Innovation Proprietary Limited, SA Building Licence number 319335. Jumped up a bit, so you're going to be paying more. $1.64 the Ampol Cross Keys Road at Caverns, pretty good. But otherwise, you're looking at mid-$90s all of a sudden. Hope you filled up last week. The United Tapley's Hill Road, Seaton, $1.96. The cheapest diesel. Diesel is lagging a bit, which is good news. $1.67 cheapest diesel at the ex-convenience at Jeps Cross.
I like this text from Rob on the Duttons text line. Rob says, to lighten things up a bit, I had an incident yesterday where somebody threw a bottle of Omega-3 at my head. I'm okay, though. It's only a superfish oil wound.
That is superbly awful, Rob.
That is a cracking joke.
That is fantastic.
Superficial wound.
That's excellent work. All right. Make sure you tune in this afternoon, 1:45, for the mental health segment with Stacy Lee. You can help create a life free from mental illness. To donate, or for more information, head to breakthroughfoundation.org.au.
The grand final competition is off. Clue number 1, Metropolitan Adelaide. One guest down. It is
55 years old, too. That was an important part of that group, Clue.
More than 55 years old and not Alberton.
I'm telling you, write it down, because you don't want to be the person who gets through first, say, Monday next week when it starts becoming obvious, and you make the fatal mistake of saying, oh, I know, it's definitely this oval in Renmark.
Yeah, that's right.
Jade Robrin, good morning.
Good morning, fellas. I'm still down here at the Ticket Check sales at Entertainment Centre. It's about 40 minutes until tickets go on sale, and I've got some very excited Port fans here. Kerry, Chris and Pam, they were all here at 6 a.m, and joining the line is Jason. Oh, mate, you're stripping off. It's getting hot in here.
It's heating up here. It's getting hot.
Getting excited about getting your tickets, buddy. It was an incredible game on Friday, and now heading into a prelim.
Yeah, it was great. It was good to see Ken getting back at them. So media can say what they want about him, but I'm backing it.
Talk to us about how you're getting over there. Have you bought your tickets, the flights, or are you driving, plane, train, automobile?
We're flying over there, got the tickets. Wish we booked them the week before because they climbed up a lot, about $500-600 to fly over now. So yeah, getting up there, but worth it.
Youch, who are you going with?
The missus and the sister-in-law, so...
Sensational. So, roughly, how much is the weekend going to cost you?
Over $3,000 at the moment, just for flights and accommodation, travel, so...
It's criminal, isn't it? And I hate to tell you, but the Bledisloe Cup is also on in Sydney that weekend, so accommodation has gone sky high as well. But interestingly, Dave, I know that you've been talking about it this morning. So around 7:30 this morning, we checked flights, and Qantas had actually dropped down to around the 250 mark. But we've jumped on again, as you did, and those flights are now around the 500 mark. So listen to this. The 6:30 flight was $339. Fast forward an hour, and those same flights are now at $597. And then the 6:30 flight has jumped up to $674. Jetstar flights Friday are completely sold out. You're going to have to cough up $484 is the cheapest to fly out on Thursday. And Virgin, they're still hovering around that $736 mark. The last flight to make it in time is at 2:30. But even if you wanted to get clever and fly to Melbourne and then jump on a flight from Melbourne to Sydney, don't even bother. Flights are around $400 for that route as well. So any way you look at it, they are price gouging everywhere. But there is still only a few seats left if you wanted to jump on the 6 a.m. bus to Sydney. Leaves at 6 a.m. and it'll get you there just before the first bounce at 6:10. But I've got some very, very excited Port fans here. The tickets, they do go on sale on the internet and also here at Ticket Tech in about 35 minutes' time.
Good stuff, Jade. Thank you for that. Out on the road this morning, I think those people got up early will be rewarded for their endeavours and efforts. We're out of time. Matt Pantelis is coming up after 9 o'clock. We'll catch you tomorrow from 6. Remember, at any point between 6 and 9, we'll have a new clue as we work together to try to determine where the AFL Grand Final ticks are hidden. Which oval in metropolitan Adelaide? We'll see you tomorrow.
On 5AA Mornings today,